tonight it is game number 4 with the Dodgers up 2-1. Roof is open. As A-Rod said, it is a chilly evening in Arlington, Texas. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Joe Buck. That is the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. And here are the Dodgers up 2-1. Last night they played basically an airtight game. And after we talked about all the stars that showed up in game 1, last night it was a different crew. The starter, Walker Buehler, his catcher, Austin Barnes, and Justin Turner had a home run and a double, and they ended up winning the ball game. So now tonight they turn the ball over to Julio Urias, who is a young man, just 24 years old. But man, this postseason, really in any postseason that he's worked in, he's been outstanding.
He really has. When the Dodgers started this postseason run, they had 5 starters. Well, they've used a couple of them out of the bullpen. And the guy who has emerged as the hottest one has been Urias. All he's done this postseason is go 4-0 and barely give up any runs. And all he's done before the age of 25 is post 6 wins. And so for the Dodgers, they feel comfortable handing the ball to their left-hander. And what Urias wants to do is feel comfortable handing the ball off to Clayton Kershaw with a 3-1 lead.
Well, and now for Tampa Bay, the formula is pretty simple. The way they win, and they won a lot of games in 2020, is to get the lead early and then go to work with their bullpen. That's what they've got to do here tonight.
Yeah, they got to reverse the trend. Some of the numbers have not worked in their category, and they need more help offensively. They cannot rely on one guy. But you mentioned it, Joe. Their formula is pretty simple. They've got to get leadoff runners on base. They've got to be able to score first. When they do, look at the record. 7-1 in the postseason, turn it over to the pen. And you know what else they've got to do? They've got to get their first base coach to do 50. That's right, 50 push-ups tonight to have a chance to win.
Why does he say that? Because Ozzie Timmons does 10 push-ups per run. That'd be 5? 50 divided by, that's 5.
That's 5.
That's 5. All right, good. That's what John's looking for. It is game 4 tonight. As we work on Fox, this World Series continues in Arlington, Texas. Baseball coming up next. Julio Urias getting the ball tonight. Ryan Yarbrough getting the ball for the Tampa Bay Rays. And let's send it down field side and check in with Tom Bertucci.
Oh, thank you, Joe. 45 minutes ago, the Dodgers scratched Cody Bellinger from center field and switched him to DH. A.J. Pollock will play center. Bellinger complained that his back tightened up overnight. Now, he did take batting practice and said he felt fine swinging the bat, but when he tried some defensive work, he was not as confident. This is a huge outfield at Globe Life Field, and Cody Bellinger has been patrolling it on turf for 13 consecutive games. The grind seems to have taken a toll. Now here's Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Tom. Ryan Yarbrough might be the softest thrower in the majors, but he's also the king of soft contact. The Rays think he matches up well against the Dodgers' low chase, high contact offense, figuring their elite defense will gobble up balls in play. The Dodgers, though, see Yarbrough's cutter as a lesser version of Brent Suter's. They hit Yarbrough in Game 1, and they want to make Kevin Cash pull him as quickly as the Brewers pulled Suter in the wild-card round. Joe?
All right, guys, thank you. We get set for the start of this one, and why not give you the Dodgers lineup? Mookie Betts leads it off. Corey Seager bats second at short. Justin Turner hits third at third. Had a big night last night. In the middle, Max Muncy, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger is the DH. A.J. Pollock made 15 starts in center during the regular season. That's where he is tonight. Chris Taylor bats eighth. Kike Hernandez is in the number 9 spot. And here comes Mookie. Taking on the left-hander Ryan Yarbrough, who is 6'5", 205. And Mookie will be first to face the 28-year-old who was born in Austin, Texas. This will be the second start of this postseason for Yarbrough. Started and won Game 3 of the ALCS against Houston, 5-2. He worked 2/3 of an inning in Game 1.
Yarbrough is going to really rely on something that the Dodgers don't do very often, and that is swings outside the zone. He wants to get hitters to chase away from the plate. And the Dodgers are so good at not expanding the zone. But that's the way Yarbrough pitches. That's what he wants. 95% of his non-fastball strikeouts are off the plate, not in the zone. And that'll be the challenge for him tonight, to see how much he can expand the Dodgers, who have been very disciplined all year.
Betts with a count of 1-1.
You all right, bro?
Now strike 2. That caught Zunino after it ticked off the bat of Mookie Betts. The Dodgers are hitting .253 this postseason. Almost took the mask right off. With their 25 home runs, Mookie has just 1 of the 25. That evens the count, 2-2. The Dodgers have 7 players with a home run in this World Series through the first 3 games. If it's 7 total, 7 guys have 1. It's tied for the most with the 89 Oakland A's. 4 players with a home run through 3 games. As Betts takes inside, it goes from 1-2 to 3-2.
Yeah, that's just what he does. That's what the Dodgers do, and it makes it so difficult on starting pitchers and any pitcher to make pitch after pitch and get quick outs. That's the recipe to beat the Dodgers. Quick outs, less stress, traffic off the bases.
3-2 pitch is popped up right side. Diaz down the line, and that ball ends up a fair ball and caught for out number 1. Yandy Diaz is at first base, and you know that piece of it. Let's give you the rest. Margot in left, 3-time Gold Glove Award winner Kevin Kiermaier in center, and Austin Meadows in right. Around the infield, it's Brasso getting the start. First World Series start. Wendell, Lowe, and Diaz with Zunino and Yarbrough. I was reading that like, am I out of my mind? That's outside. It's Margot in left, Kiermaier in center, Renfroe in right. Brasso at third, Adames at short, Lau at second, Yandy Diaz at first, Zunino catching, Yarbrough pitching. I don't know. That was like from June that thing popped up. June of 2019. We'll go through it again. We'll get it all filtered out correctly and give you another virtual look at the defense. But man, I was going to have to get out the whiteout and go to work on my book here if that was right. 3-0 the count on Corey Seager, with Justin Turner waiting to hit next. Yarbrough needs to find the strike zone. Seager 3 for 9 in this World Series, and that is a rocket on 3-0, and Lau is there on the other end of it, 2 down. Okay, here we go. Come on. Come on. Margot in left. Kiermaier in center. Renfroe is in right. Rosso at third. Adames at short. Lau at second. Diaz at first. Zunino catching. And Yarbrough in the middle of it. He's retired the first 2, and the left hand of Brandon Lau probably stinging a bit after catching that line drive off the bat of Seager. 2 out. And Turner gets out. Last night in the first inning, 2 out, nobody on, and Justin Turner went deep, doubled in his next plate appearance. 13 hits this postseason. He admits that he's been frustrated at the plate so far in October, but whereas in years past they really relied on him to carry the offense, his teammates have been doing the job, and Turner had his fun last night.
Yeah, there's just no way to measure the fatigue factor that this lineup creates for everybody down the line, right? One hitter creates fatigue from the pitcher that might just result in a hanging pitch or mistake, and this lineup really helps each other out as the game goes along.
Here comes a 1-0 pitch. That breaking ball is down. The count 2-0. We talked about the pine tar over the name of Turner. It always ends up in the same spot. There you go. That's how that happened. Here's the next, and a high fly ball into center. Back at the track, at the wall. Did it again. Back-to-back nights. Justin Turner with a first inning, 2-out solo shot, and the Dodgers lead 1-0 in Game 4.
This year he'd been struggling against breaking balls, especially sliders. In his career he hasn't, but this year he struggled. Well, he caught one on the inner half of the plate, and let me tell you something, he went to big boy land. That's straightaway center where the ball goes to die, and an incredible effort here by Kiermaier, but just outside the reach, and Yarborough's going, come on.
That, by the way, is the 12th postseason home run in a Dodger uniform for Justin Turner. That is a franchise record as he moves one spot ahead and now all by himself in front of Duke Snider. Again, Snider, all the home runs during the World Series. There are more rounds, more opportunities, but still, Turner has put LA on top, and when he came to the Dodgers in 2014, nobody talked about it. He wasn't even a lock to make the team, and now he's been just rock solid in this lineup ever since.
Yeah, he's turned himself into an incredible hitter, and the way he's done that is revamped his swing with that leg kick that we'll be able to show you during the game. But he has the timing mechanism, the hands that stay back, and I'll tell you what, for Justin Turner and all the help he's got in his offense, he's the glue, and he has been the glue the last 5 years for this Dodger offense. A lot of hitters have learned a lot from Turner.
Muncy grounds to the right side, and the inning comes to a close. Yarbrough gives up the home run. And Justin Turner, first player in World Series history to hit a first inning home run in back-to-back games. Vince loves it. So do the Dodgers. Up 1. As Justin Turner goes deep, as I said, going to break, first player in World Series history to hit a first inning home run in back-to-back games. And here is the Rays lineup. Yandy Diaz will lead it off. Randy Arozarena has been moved up from the number 3 spot. Rosso is hitting third. Margot, Lau, Adames, Renfroe, Zunino, and Kevin Kiermaier, the back end of the lineup against a left-hander, Julio Urias. And that fastball pops in there at 93 to Yandy Diaz, strike 1.
Got some great numbers on the year. His fastball, curveball, slider, changeup combination. He has been on attack and he's been throwing strikes, and I got to believe tremendous confidence. He's dominated leadoff hitters on the year. He's dominated on the first pitch. Hitters are only hitting 143 on first pitches. And that is not a number you see very often. That's second best in baseball.
That's in for a strike. 1-2. You can't pitch better than Urias pitched in Game 7 of the NLCS. He got the win, came out of the pen, and was perfect the last 3 innings of the ball game. Here's a 1-2. Well outside. 2-2.
Done some things to try to get him to buy in. He's been buying in. He's been going exclusively out of the stretch, and he has been mechanically sound.
Good swing by Diaz. The first inning has been the weak spot when you go back throughout the entire regular season, albeit the shortened regular season. But those numbers, including October, 8.18 in the first, and then just shut down after that. Mark Pryor is pitching coach, and a strikeout starts the night.
So this is what he throws. If you're sitting at home, you don't have followed him. It's nasty and it's firm. Fastball comes out, slider, curveball, changeup. We're going to show you 3 of them right now. And that curveball percentage for strikes and the year, the fastball percentage, and you saw the changeup. And he's tough on left-handers, and he has been tough on hitters this whole postseason.
Well, here's Arozarena moved up 1 spot as they want to give a different look with the lefty on the mound. That is in for strike 2, and 2 quick ones on Arozarena, as Urias has stayed away from the fastball. Randy last night went deep off Kenley Jansen in the 9th. His 8th home run this postseason, tied for the most in a postseason ever. Just got a piece.
Well, part of that first inning trouble that you were talking about, they finally have gotten Urias to be more firm in the first inning. When you're starting a game, he was probably coming out cruising a little bit, the ability to turn it up later. They said, no, we want you to turn it up from the start, and we'll cover whatever you can't do at the end. And that's been a new theory that he's been trying to adopt.
That is into center field for a base hit. Arozarena with his 24th hit as he adds to that rookie record, and he's on with 1 out here in the first inning.
Got to give this young man credit. I mean, for all the eyes on him, and you circle him when you're a pitcher and you get the lineup card, he has taken advantage of every mistake in the zone. It really has been amazing to see what he's done in this postseason as compared to the regular season. See how that's middle. He, even though he didn't crush it, he was able to get another hit. And that confidence and that ability when he gets to the plate, he's got the attention of every pitcher, and the pitchers this postseason are making more mistakes than usual.
Dodgers play Brasso to pull, and he takes a strike. Only infielder on the right side of second base is Muncy, and he's holding against the runner. So Kike Hernandez basically up the middle. And another hitter played to pull on the infield and shaded the opposite way in the outfield.
Rarely hits the ball to the right side.
Well, he's had some great swings this postseason, and the biggest single swing of the postseason came against the Yankees to win Game 5 of the division series off of Aroldis Chapman with a game-winning home run. A 1-out hit by Arozarena. Brasso on 0-2. Aroldis Chapman had come into the ball game in the 7th. This was in the 8th. Broke the tie, and the dugout celebrated. And this young man, undrafted, who has had to work to get to this level, had the moment of a lifetime. As he strikes out here, 95 for out number 2.
Well, he wanted it up, but he had enough behind this ball to hit the heart of the zone. More up than down. Down, this guy was dangerous. You saw that homer he hit off of Chapman. Velocity in the right place is music to hitters' ears. Velocity in the wrong place exposes them, and that's why the swings and miss have been so high this year for the Rays lineup.
Big swing by Margot, strike 1. He has swung the bat well, and the postseason average for Margot has been climbing. 4 for 10 in this World Series, 14 out of 49 for the postseason. 5 homers, 11 RBIs. There goes Arozarena, swing and a miss. Throw down is not in time. Kike Hernandez picked that ball out of the dirt. Looked like it short hopped him, then could not get the tag back down. And everybody has come to a standstill as they will get another look at this, a review. Let's see if.
Yeah.
And Kike Hernandez with a good job of hanging on to the ball after applying the tag, and he looks to be out. And this is the definitive look. He's out. And Urias will end up facing the minimum in the first inning. A strikeout, a hit, a strikeout, now a caught stealing. And the Dodgers, as they have done multiple times this postseason here in Arlington, will head off the field before the official call has been made. But they know he's out. Dodger fans in attendance believe he's out, and he's out. After 1 in Game 4 on the home run by Justin Turner, the Dodgers lead it 1-0. Sponsored by Ford. Built Ford proud. By Steal a Base, Steal a Taco, only at Taco Bell. And by Allstate. Get better protected with Allstate. You've never been in better hands. Why do we show the great Jackie Robinson? Passed away on this date 48 years ago in 1972. Broke baseball's color barrier in 1947. Tremendous athlete. Really could have played anything and just served a huge role for the game of baseball and for American society in general, as Will Smith leads it off and fouls it away, strike 1.
Well, Yarbrough has got to make sure if the damage is done against him, it's got to be solo home runs. 2-out solo home run in the first. He's got to keep his team close so that Kevin Cash can use that bullpen in high leverage situations and maximize it.
Good pitch there at 79, kept down and away, strike 2 on Smith, with Bellinger now the DH and A.J. Pollock the next 2 hitters. One and 2.
Another thing he's got to do to Smith, the emphasis has got to be on the ball down. Smith against left-handers likes the ball up. Struggles against curveballs against left-handers and sliders. A lot of cutters out of Yarbrough.
1-2 pitch here is up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Talking to Kevin Cash about the change with Yarbrough. I mean, this postseason, really any team, features power, just blazing fastballs, and Yarbrough with his stuff, just a totally different look. As Smith clunks one to third, and that's an infield hit. 25-year-old catcher beat the throw by Brasso easily.
Pretty good wheels for a catcher, a young man. Just soft contact is what you want to give up as a pitcher, but unfortunately that soft contact was a base hit.
You heard from Tom Verducci before first pitch that it's the back, not the shoulder, that's bothering Bellinger. So they keep his bat in the lineup as the DH. The first from Yarbrough, off the hand, strike one.
I find it interesting to see Yarbrough off the third base side of the rubber, throws across his body, so by the time his arm angle gets to release the ball, he's as if he was pitching off the first base side of the rubber.
A one pitch is down.
You see that, you see the lower release that he likes to throw, but he loses just a little leverage against left-handers by getting in that position, showing him the ball longer than he maybe could. But that's the comfortable spot he wants to pitch off of and where he's had success.
1-1. Way out in front of it. Huge swing by a guy with a bad back, and the count 1-2.
That definitely will see if your back is loose. Part of the reason, again, because he throws such a low three-quarter across his body, that probably if he was off the first base side of the rubber, he'd be landing on the slope the wrong way and messing him up.
1-2 the count. And a check swing, little pop-up on the infield, and caught by Yarbrough. And good base running by Will Smith has him back at first with one down. That was a tough read for Smith.
Wow, what a great play by Yarbrough. There's nobody over there. A little check swing, but the ball was up long enough and it allowed the athletic, and that's right, athletic pitcher go get it. Outstanding play, and he's making all pitchers realize they can catch pop-ups around the mound. They still don't understand that. Never will.
That's all you guys do at batting practice is catch fly balls. 1 on, 1 out. The batter is A.J. Pollock, playing center tonight. 0 for 2 so far in this World Series, and takes outside ball 1. Yarbrough was drafted by Seattle, traded to Tampa Bay in January of 17. Made his big league debut the next year and went 16-6. 38 games, just 6 starts. We'd like to call these guys not just openers, but they handle the bulk of the ball game, so bulk pitchers as he changes up on Pollock. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So Yarbrough has 2 pitches that happen to be the only 2 pitches that Pollock is not crushing off of left-handers this year. It's that changeup you just saw and the cutter. Every other pitch he has had really good success, and he has really loved facing left-handed pitchers.
1-1 pitch. That's out in front of the plate. Out at first, down to second is Smith, 2 away. Came on the air with Kenny talking about low exit velocity and soft contact. We have seen that with the last 2 hitters. Did not see that with Justin Turner. Answer 6 questions about tonight's matchup between the Dodgers and Rays, and you could win $25,000. It's easy and free to play. So download the Fox Bet Super 6 app. There's still time to get your picks in for tonight's game. Well, the Dodgers have featured a lot of 2-out runs, 51 so far this postseason. That's a record. It includes the 2-out home run by Turner in the first. Batter is Taylor, and Yarbrough has to step off. Down and away. Ball one.
Yarbrough against right-handed batters will stay with that cutter usage. High percentage, almost 50% of his pitches of the cutter happen against right-handers. And 161 strikeouts on that cutter the last couple of years.
That is foul. Out of play right side. Our Indeed player resume, we're going to give it to you for the Dodgers and what they've done this postseason. 51 runs, most in a single postseason, scoring with 2 out. 36 two-strike runs, most in a single postseason, and 11 different players with a home run. Tied for the most in a single postseason all time. They spread it around. They've had a different star, it feels like, just about every game. Yarbrough trying to get around the leadoff infield hit by Will Smith, and the count 2-1.
Rays need an out right here to just stop the momentum of what we just showed. The 2 outs, runs scored, runners in scoring position. They haven't hit one ball hard this inning.
That is in for strike number 2. 2-2. Ryan 1-4 during the regular season, 1-0 so far this postseason, and has to get some big outs here early, but the high leverage relievers for the Rays are ready to go when they are needed. Kevin Cash will manage aggressively with that here tonight as they trail in this World Series. It's a good take by Taylor in the count full. The exit velocity for the Turner home run in the first, 106.4 miles per hour. Here in the second inning, it's been 68, 42, and 47. Yarbrough ready with a 3-2 pitch. Strikeout ends the inning. That's the first of the night. And we go to the bottom of the second in game 4. 1-0. LA on top. Bottom of the second, Margot, who was at the plate when Arozarena was thrown out stealing to end the first, gets a fresh at bat. Brandon Lau and Willie Adames, the next 2. Different look to this lineup for Kevin Cash tonight. And there's a strike from Urias. Two quick strikes, 94 from the young left-hander, still just 24 years old.
Something the Dodgers as a staff do so well. They throw strikes. They get ahead. They don't walk many. They don't give up a ton of home runs. They make you work offensively as well as their deep offense works. It's really a talented group, and it's the depth that everyone was talking about when they entered the playoffs.
This is one guy who has chipped in this lineup to try and help out Arozarena. That bounces in, and Smith a good job to block it. Ball 1. Temperature in the 50s, so Arozarena with the sweatshirt on, and there is strikeout number 3 for Urias. 1 out in the second.
Because he can change speeds and because he can throw a fastball that just holds its spot and it's got hop, he's got one of those easy deliveries. Doesn't grunt, doesn't look like he's max effort, but he's firm with everything, and talented left-hander.
Breaking ball in for a strike. I know the nickname Bulldog is already taken.
Yep.
In Dodger history with the great Oral Hershiser, but man, this guy just comes right at you.
Yeah, Pitbull's taken too, but that'd be the next thing I'd go with him. I mean, he's one of those guys. He literally has come back from 2 could have been devastating injuries. He's bounced around in roles. He, to me, along with the other 2 guys they have, a lockdown starter.
Here's one into right, hard hit, and backs up to grab it, 2 down. And Julio appreciates it. Betts made it look rather routine. Got a great jump.
And Lyle's probably going, come on, man. I've been struggling to put the ball in play. I just hit a rocket. Well, you hit it to the wrong guy.
I mean, this has been a postseason where out in right field, it has just been one play after another by Mookie Betts. He went 3 straight games against the Atlanta Braves. Whoa. Including going up over the wall to rob Freddie Freeman of a home run in Game 7. And his defense, I mean, basically turned around Game 5 with the Dodgers facing elimination.
That wasn't that easy of a play. I'm telling you, that is so hard to read and to get up at the right time as you're moving back towards the wall. He's going to have a
Dodger fans serenading him here as Adames takes 1 down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's going to have to get a room for a lot of awards in the next 12 years.
1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down, and that's a strike. Adames couldn't pull the trigger, and now he's set up. You know that Julio's dad, Carlos, who was his first coach in Mexico, is rising and falling with every pitch, every out. Watching from home. Julio here inside the bubble by himself. There's one into center. Back is Pollock. Adames got under it, and a 1-2-3 second for Urias. Into the 3rd inning we go. It's Game 4. The home run by Turner, the only run tonight, 1-0. Dodgers on top. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Geico. Happy Geicoing. You can save even more by bundling home and car insurance. And by Indeed, upload your resume today. First-year home of the Texas Rangers. And tonight's aerial coverage brought to you by Camping World, making RVing fun and easy since 1966. Got the former home of the Rangers right next door, the home of the Dallas Cowboys in the other direction. And Kike Hernandez, the number 9 hitter, digs in against Yarbrough. That's in for strike 1. We'll check in with Tom Verducci. Tom?
Yeah, I noticed something with Ryan Yarbrough in that 2nd inning. He came out, started the inning out of the stretch, as he's doing right here. Clearly, there was something there in the 1st inning out of the windup that he felt needed a correction. Now, he has done this before in the past, go back and forth, wind up, stretch, but he did begin this game out of the windup.
And it was out of the windup that Justin Turner took him out of here. Another chopper. Brasso tested, gloves, throws, and it got him. I don't know. Some of the Dodgers want another look at that. It was awfully close. What a good play by Brasso.
Yeah, great play and another soft contact. And this play right here just catches him.
Yep. Great play. But one down.
Part of the reason, you know, I think when a pitcher feels like he's at his best in the windup, he's in sync. It looked like he can float a little bit out of the windup, a little too far across his body, and maybe out of the stretch. It simplifies that. But the deception out of the windup should be better than it is out of the stretch. But he might feel better mechanically right now out of the stretch.
Well, for the Rays, it's interesting that Brasso's in there, and we've already shown you he can handle himself at third base. Joey Wendell is a great defensive third baseman, and Brasso's been busy over there already with the right-handed hitters. Soft contact against Yarbrough. That is up, a ball and a strike. Back to the top of the order, Mookie Betts, who popped up to first his first time up. Betts 4 for 13 in this World Series. It's that off the end of the bat. Coming to grab it is Kiermaier, and that's out number 2. Yarbrough doing his job. Don't forget to download the Fox Sports Samsung 5G View app for an all-new immersive fan experience available exclusively on 5G-enabled Android devices. With our director, Matt Gangle, showing off with that fly cam that is stationed above and behind the Rays dugout. With 2 out, nobody on, here's Seager. Ball 1 inside. Corey lined out to second, where Brandon Lau, all he had to do was lift his glove to make the catch. And that's behind Seager. 2-0.
Natural reactions take over, but that could have been an easy curveball in the derriere hit by pitch. But that shows you how much he throws across his body. He's trying to start that breaking ball at the left-hander's hip to break it across the plate.
With one behind him to the outside corner, 2-1. Here it comes from Yarbrough, and fouled away. Tampa Bay Rays offensively have hit 29 home runs. That is in the top spot all time in a single postseason. The Dodgers are catching up. The home run by Turner in the first inning, their 26th of the postseason.
But that's about the only thing that kind of matches with the Dodgers. When you think about offensively, they have not done enough thus far, and really in the postseason, with runners on and of course getting enough hits, but their pitching's covered it up to this point.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Seager hits one in the air to right. This ball is crushed and gone. Corey Seager with another 2-out RBI as he circles the bases with his 8th home run of this postseason. That tie is for the record with Arozarena and 3 others, and it's 2-0 Dodgers here in the 3rd.
Seager just doesn't give in against left-handers, and what I mean by that, he shows no ability to open up. He stays firm, and he takes this breaking ball and crushes it. A little surprised they didn't go with the firmer choice of the breaking balls. The slider or cutter over the curveball. He's really handled curveballs off of left-handers this year.
Here's Turner, strike 1.
See that break, and that thing is seen by him the entire way, and it's up. He keeps his head down, foot down, and hot hitter.
Way up into the seats here and right. Now Turner in the hole, 0-2. We talked about it during the NLCS. Corey Seager, part of that phenomenal free agent class to be at the shortstop position after next year. And on the center of the stage here, when the lights are the brightest, Corey Seager has never been better. And 52 two-out runs scored by the Dodgers this postseason. Now a 1-2 to Turner. That is hit into center for a base hit. And Turner is on to keep the top of the third inning going with Max Muncy about to stand in.
Watch what Turner does. That back leg is so important. He's got the back leg that he hits off, but the front leg goes up and then comes down. There's the front leg when he, watch right here. There's his timing. See, his hands are perfect. He gets the foot down and then lets the hips and the hands do the rest. He is really locked in lately in these latter part of the playoffs.
He's 2 for 2 tonight and 6 for 15 now in the World Series. With 2 down, that is outside to Max Muncy. We will give you more of our Chevy MVP watch. They're keeping an eye on Justin Turner. 2 home runs. First player ever in World Series history to hit a first inning home run in back-to-back World Series games. Last night against Morton and tonight against Yarbrough. 2-0 now on Muncy. Morton last night, you saw there briefly, 4 1/3, 5 runs, 7 hits.
Muncy, when he's ahead in the count, chases only 9% outside the strike zone. Think about that.
2-0 pitch is inside, 3-0, and he is 1 pitch out of the strike zone away from his 19th walk this postseason.
That is a batter that has total command when the count is in his favor. He's not getting anxious. When you get anxious and you get a hitter that wants to hit, he'll swing outside the strike zone because he wants to do damage. Muncy is very content waiting to get the 1 pitch, especially when he's ahead in the count.
Here comes a 3-0. Strike 1. There is nobody up for the Rays out in their pen. Right-handed hitting. Will Smith on deck. Danger pitch here for Yarbrough. That's a strike. A good delivery over the outside part at 87, a full count.
This is where I think he has done a nice job on breaking balls. I would have to go firm again if I'm the Rays combination here.
Runner will go. That's Turner at first with 2 down. And that's inside. Another walk by Muncy. And that is his 19th of the postseason. He's been on base now in 14 straight. And that's going to bring the pitching coach, Kyle Snyder, out. So after yet another walk to Max Muncy, he goes down to first. That pushes Turner to second and gets the pitching coach Kyle Snyder His third year in that position with Tampa Bay out of the dugout, and action has now begun for the Rays out in their pen.
I just can't express enough on how easy the first inning looked. 2 outs, homer. Third inning, first 2 out, homer. Now a hit and now a walk. That kind of stress and that kind of situation is not what Kevin Cash was looking for. He wanted to see, even if he gave up the 2 home runs, no big deal. And now a big inning still can happen.
Fairbanks getting loose. 2 on, 2 out. Ball 1 to Will Smith. He had an infield hit his first time up. Smith has already driven in 13 runs this postseason. The tandem, 2 Dodger catchers, have been impressive behind and at the plate. There's a strike.
See, the double-edged sword when you're trying to attack. You see Will Smith right here and Austin Barnes. Production out of their catcher's spot has been incredible. Is you've got to mix and match in the strike zone. You cannot nibble. I know it's easy said and done because of what the offense does for the Dodgers, but you've got to be able to pitch effectively in the zone. Because if you don't, it just brings in the strength of their patience. They don't have a lot of wild swingers in there, guys that swing at anything.
Two balls and a strike on Smith. Looking for yet another 2-out run or more for the Dodgers. Little check swing back to Yarbrough, and the underhand toss for the out. In the inning, a 2-out home run by Corey Seager. His torrid October continues, and the Dodgers shortstop touches off another 2-0 LA after 2.5 in Game 4. The grizzled vet, Justin Turner, accomplished that. First player in World Series history to hit first inning home runs in back-to-back games. And oh, by the way, the guy that stands to his left on this infield just hit his 8th of this postseason to make it 2-0. Breaking ball misses high, and we're underway in the bottom of the third. Hunter Renfroe, Mike Zunino, and Kevin Kiermaier. This is inside, 2-0.
Well, the Rays could use some help out of the bottom of their lineup. This part of the lineup has not produced much, and they could also use getting a man on to lead off the inning to feel like they've got something going. Coming into the series, they had gotten the leadoff hitter on 36 out of 146 times, but only 3 times out of 27 opportunities. To this coming into this game, it's got to get better.
It was 2-0. Now it's 2-2. Renfroe here at the tail end of his first year with the Rays. 33 home runs last year with San Diego. This year hit 8. Has won this postseason. 0 for 2 so far in this World Series. 2-2 pitch is hit in the air to left, and that is right at Taylor. 1 down. That'll bring in Zunino, the catcher, and tonight's telecast is sponsored by Chevrolet, introducing the all-new Chevy Suburban and Tahoe. By Dell Technologies, when it comes to your business, we'll stop at nothing. And by Verizon, the network more people rely on gives you more. Zunino with 4 home runs this postseason, scattered among his 8 hits. He's 0 for 9 so far in the World Series. 1-0 from Urias is upstairs.
It's just amazing, and I know that we don't have a packed place here, and the crowd intensity is always amped in the postseason. But your brain thinks differently in the postseason because you know it's bigger, and when you can create stress on the other team, you never know how that's going to impact the performance or execution out of certain players. And right now we can say that the Dodgers have put more stress on everybody they've played. And you feel a lot more comfortable when you're in the strength of your ball club. Just like the Rays feel a lot more comfortable if they had a 2-0 lead right now, knowing that their formula works better.
Yeah, that's what we came on the air talking about tonight. Here's a 2-1. Check swing, and he did hold up 3-1. The need for the Rays to get out in front early, and then Kevin Cash can use his talented bullpen. That hasn't happened. It's 2-0 Dodgers. And Urias on the mound has been changing the eye level of these Tampa Bay hitters. High fastballs, the breaking ball, and they have yet to really catch up.
And there's the difference, right? When you got a 3-1 count and you know you can still throw a fastball by somebody, that's less stress. If you know that guy absolutely crushes fastballs, then you might not be able to go to that pitch, therefore bringing in a walk or a secondary pitch. And that's what the Dodgers fastballs in this series have been.
That is down, and a 1-out walk. Zunino is aboard for Kiermaier, and let's roll the clock back. Ken Rosenthal, how did the Dodgers get Urias?
Well, Joe, the Dodgers were largely dormant in the international market under their previous owner, Frank McCourt. But that changed when the current Guggenheim ownership took over in May 2012. Mike Brito, you remember him, he's the scout who signed Fernando Valenzuela. He first saw Urias in a small town on Mexico's Pacific coast when the pitcher was 14 years old. Other Dodgers scouts, led by former executives Logan White and Rick Ragazzo, they then signed Urias at a showcase on the same scouting trip where their primary mission was to go look at Yasiel Puig. So what happens? The Dodgers land both Urias and Puig, and that same summer, they also signed Corey Seager after making him the 18th pick of the amateur draft.
Yeah, that's a nice collection,
I'll say.
Here's an 0-1. Now strike two. 95 by the bat of Kiermaier, who homered in game one off Kershaw. They do not hold against Zunino at first. And that is 3 pitches and strikeout number 4 for the lefty Julio Urias. You saw those stats. He came up at the age of 19. And as you watch him work, he's 4-0 this postseason, ERA of basically half a run. And at the age of 24, he's already got 6 wins and 8 decisions.
Yeah, he, of the 3 guys that they have bounced around, has not shown any ill effects. You could make the argument that Dustin May lately has not been the same pitcher, nor has Gonsolin, and a part of that has to be a little bit of confidence and the usage that they have used, where they use them in relief and then try to start them. Well, Urias, out of relief and or starting, has been good, very good. It's not easy. These guys have made it look easy by willingly saying I'll take the ball whenever my manager asks me to do it. But you know there is some discomfort in knowing or not knowing what your role might be from day to day, especially in the postseason.
1-1 is upstairs. There is let's just say if that hoodie is removed, a lot of hair will come popping out of there. That's Dustin May. Raring to get back out there, and that fine line of trying to make sure he gets right. He also needs to get effective, and you can hear the home plate umpire, Chris Guccione, ask Will Smith if he's okay. That was loud. 2-2 the count.
know, we haven't talked about it, which is usually a great thing. The umpires have done a nice job with the strike zone in the whole postseason, you know, for the most part. Not the easiest job to do, and so far here in the World Series, not a lot of complaining, and they look like they're locked in.
Yandy Diaz with a count of 3-2. Struck out his first time. This gives Zunino a chance to get a head start at first as they continue to play behind him. Here it is, and a foul. Home plate umpire tonight, Chris Guccione. He is joined by Jerry Meals at first, Mark Carlson at second. Laz Diaz had the plate in game 1. Todd Tishner in left. And the crew chief is all the way out in right. Adrian Johnson, the replay official. Marvin Hudson off in this one. Will work the plate tomorrow. Strikeout ends the inning. That is 5 for Urias. He's gotten Diaz twice. He is locked in. Dodgers up 2-0 after 3. Game 4. Major League Baseball encourages fans to take an active role in their communities and make a plan to vote this election season. Visit MLB.com/vote to learn more. 4th inning rolls in, 2-0 Dodgers. 2 home runs. Turner, Seager. Here is Bellinger. Little pop up on the infield. It was tracked down by Yarbrough his first time up. So 0 for 1. Takes a strike.
Yeah, Yarbrough is not going to be in there much longer, so his job and goal now is to keep it right there. The Rays don't want a deficit more than 2 runs, and they'll start turning it over to mixing and matching of their bullpen. They know that their offense has not been super hot, and they can't afford to rally much more than the 2 runs they are already down.
Wow, what reflexes by Chris Guccione. That's cat-like. Uh-huh. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bellinger hits it right into the shift and is out at first. Play made by Adames, 1 away. Bellinger 0 for 2. That'll bring in Pollock. Talked about it a lot this postseason, but worth bringing all these storylines back up as we're into the middle portion of this World Series. The Dodgers are here for the 3rd time in the last 4 years, and for the 3rd time in the 5 years that Dave Roberts has been the manager. They've won their division 8 straight years, dominating the West. Best record in baseball over those 8 years. Looking for their first World Series win since 1988. While the Tampa Bay Rays had a great regular season, 40-20, won the division over the Yankees by 7 games. Playing in their 2nd World Series, lost in 5 games to the Phillies, first time around in 08. That is down. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, that's why this year would make it so special. I know a lot of people talk about, well, it was only 60 games. The pressure's been so great on the Dodgers. The things they had to overcome this year and the adjustments they had to make, each series was harder and harder for them because they had nothing to gain until they got to the World Series and could put a period on this narrative that they have been talking about all too often.
That's a little flare down the line. It's a foul ball by inches.
And that's why I feel like this team, not to take anything away from all the other great teams they've had, is probably more complete to handle it. The Mookie Betts factor is great. It's influenced the team. They've become together because of COVID, staying together, becoming maybe more of a team And some benefits have come out of this, according to Dave Roberts, that he really likes moving forward will serve them well.
Well, there was a lot of talk early in the year when the baseball season started up, and it was only going to be a 60-game season. Well, is it going to feel right? Is there going to be an asterisk attached to it? Whoever wins the World Series is going to be either the Dodgers or the Rays. Just speaking personally, in my own opinion, we've done plenty of World Series together, and I've sat here calling plenty of them myself. This feels like the World Series, and any team that ends up on top, going through all the protocols and everything else that's a part of the 2020 season, they will have gone through a lot to get to the top, and I don't think anything will be taken away from whichever team ends up winning this World Series.
No, and I really thought, I was surprised by the 2-game series. That's the scariest one. Anybody in baseball can win a 2-game series. But the format allowed for that first to be a 2-game series, all in the home park of the better record. And that, to me, was the scariest series the Dodgers were going to have from a pressure standpoint, and they handled it against the Brewers, and then, of course, handled the Padres after that.
Count 2-2, Kenny.
You talk to the players, coaches, and managers, and front office people as well. They're all exhausted. They say the 60 is more exhausting even than the 162 is normally because of all that you said. They've gone through all that they've had to deal with. Now, granted, it's not the same as what people in the country are dealing with illness and all of that, but at the same time, it's not what they're accustomed to, and that is what has been such a strain.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on, and a line drive into right, well hit. This one's going to get over the head of Renfroe for a double for Pollock. And he's got his first hit of this World Series.
I don't think Renfroe was going to catch this anyways, but he came in when that ball was hit. And then once he did that, there was no chance. This ball was smoked. He was playing relatively shallow, but his first read was to come in, and then it's too late at that point.
That will send Zunino out to the mound with Chris Taylor about to hit. So while they talk, we'll give you a quick word from T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage.
T-Mobile brings you 5G BP, the first ever 5G powered stream from cameras on the field. Get closer to the game with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage.
Well, that was a little stall. And here comes Kevin Cash. That's going to be it for Ryan Yarbrough, it appears. And it is. Well, it'll be the big right-hander Ryan Thompson, who worked in last night's game. Runner at second, 1 out. Dodgers already up 2-0. Yarbrough knocked out here in the 4th. Always ready for a good time. Dodgers leading 2-0, and we are in the 4th. Justin Turner, 12th career postseason home run. Corey Seager with his 8th of this postseason. And ties for the most in a single postseason all time. The Dodgers, their 7th straight multi-home run game. They led the major leagues in home runs during the 60-game season with 118. Here's Thompson with a runner at second, 1 out, taking over in the 4th. Taylor. That almost got away from Zunino as that ball just took off.
Well, this is what the Dodgers want to do. It feels like it's a 4 or 5 run game, but it's only a 2-run game. That's how much heat the Dodgers have put on the Rays pitching staff already. They want to see as many of the relievers as they can, even if the Rays are to come back and win. The Dodgers feel that in a longer series, the more guys they see, the better their adjustments the hitters can make. They did it against the Braves in a 7-game series.
Thompson brings it. Strike 1. Showed last night the look at the different arm angles for the Tampa Bay Rays, and they feature out of their bullpen.
This one's the 9 o'clock. Anywhere between 8 and 9 o'clock on your numbers on a clock.
Appropriately, it's 8:30 here Central Time.
There you go. He's on time.
Here's a 1-1. Fought off, fouled off, strike 2. Okay. So we'll give you a look at the arm angles tonight. Promise. We had a sidearm style lefty, and now a certainly not over the top right-hander. First year in the big leagues, 2020 for Ryan Thompson. Brings it, and a strikeout for out number 2. Taylor tried to hold up, could not, and he has struck out for the second time tonight.
Well, if you want to know what this angle's like, this angle from Thompson is going to be 3.72 feet off the ground by the time he delivers the ball. So that's how low he gets. And that's the angle the hitter's trying to gather. And Taylor's probably a little upset that they thought he went. But that ball breaking away, coming from a low, low angle. And of course, not many of these kind of pitchers in the game.
Kike Hernandez facing Thompson for the second straight game, and he chops to third. Brasso. Nice pick. And good work by Thompson. As the Rays get around a one-out double by Pollock. Randy Arozarena, who singled his first time up, will lead it off. Bottom of the fourth, 2-0 LA.
Randy Arozarena.
He had done it again.
Ooh,
look out.
Another home run by Randy Arozarena.
Damn, he must be popular, huh?
This kid is electric. Las botas de la suerte. The good luck boots. Borrowed them from a teammate, some cowboy boots in Mexico, and here is a shot into right center field. This ball is back at the wall, and he's got another, and the all-time record for home runs in a single postseason with number 9. More importantly for the Rays, it's a 2-1 game.
Well, that's how important the job the right-handed reliever did for the Rays. Thompson, I think the Rays felt that that was going to be the indicator of their offense to come back. Cannot come back, you wouldn't think, from too many runs. And that young man, he's driving the bus.
Wearing his good luck boots for that little video shoot. Wore them, teammates in Mexico. Happened here in the States, and he is sticking with what works. And he was ready for the camera at any part of the ballpark. Left, which he went deep down the line last night against Jansen. Straightaway center, right center. That ball was tattooed.
I mean, the timing and the quick hands.
Here's one that's going to drop into center as Brasso is on. Tying run aboard with nobody out here in the fourth. And let's go back to the home run hit by Arozarena.
If he tries to pull this, I don't think he hits a homer. And the reason he's been so good is he goes to all parts of the field. His hands are so quick. His timing is so good. And that's like a left-handed pull hitter right there, the way that ball went. And I'll tell you what, they feed off of him, and you just feel like the Rays' energy just jumped right back into their clubhouse and their dugout.
He's 2 for 2 tonight. He has the rookie record for hits in a postseason, broke Jeter's record. It was set in '96. That happened last night. He's got the major league record for total bases in a postseason. You can add 5 more to it. He's up to 57, and he's got the 9 home runs, breaking a tie that he was in with Corey Seager, who got into that club tonight. Barry Bonds, Nelson Cruz, and Carlos Beltran. Arozarena on top of all of them.
I'm just amazed because he hasn't gotten carried away with any of it, meaning you can.
Here's Margot. That is down.
You can start chase some incredible numbers. You could start actually creating a problem. You feel you're so hot, but he has been relaxed. And Johnny on the spot.
A homer, then a single by Brasso, and now the pitch to Margot is fouled away, 2-2. What a trade.
See, now the Rays feel like it's a winnable game for them. Now Kevin Cash has the ability to go to leverage relievers. When you're trailing by 3, that's when it gets real tough. Sometimes even 2.
There's one right down the chute. 96, as hard as we've seen the lefty throw tonight, for strikeout number 6 and out number 1 here in the 4th.
Yeah, he just sits back and lets it eat with a fastball. And he just exploded the mitt on the outside part of the plate. But my point with Kevin Cash now, the managing part of his game gives him the best chance now to use his bullpen and keep it right here. Even if the Rays don't score another run this inning, that last half inning was huge. Didn't give the Dodgers a run. And then to come back and get a point on the board, this is the kind of game they like.
Here's Brandon Lau, who was robbed of an extra base hit as Fairbanks gets loose again. Second time he's been up.
I mean, see, that's the guy that pitched the last 2 innings in Game 7. So they use their guys according to the lineup that's coming up for the Dodgers, which is going to be the top of the lineup. So that's their highest leverage guy they want to use in that spot. It feels like they can get through the top of the lineup.
It'll be Seager, Turner, and Muncy, 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the 5th. Good pitch to Lau, had him way out in front. 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball that Lau hit was pulled into right, and Mookie Betts went back, had a great read on it, went up in the air and hauled it in back in the 2nd. So he's 0 for 1 and 2 for 14 in this World Series. 2-homer game in Game 2. Nasty breaking ball has Lau frozen, strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes. Runner at first, 1 out, and now this gets away from Smith. Down to second goes Brasso. So a couple of things have happened. Brasso gets put into the lineup tonight. He has a hit. He's now at second. And moving up a spot, Arozarena, who's 2 for 2 and just homered a moment ago.
And the reason that's big for the Rays, they have to change the defense to the Dodgers. Turner was way over in the shift playing second base. Now he has to go back to his position at third and protect. This breaking ball kind of skips off the plate or the back of it, and it allows the Rays to have a little better chance on a ground ball in the hole to the right side.
It's a wild pitch. And Lau waits for a 2-2 from Urias. Fought it off. They're starting to move around in the Dodger bullpen as well. Two. He went around, and the strikeout is number 7 back-to-back. And 2 out here in the 4th.
It just shows you a little bit of what the makeup is for Urias. He gave up a home run, then a single, and he struck out the last 2 batters, trying to get one more to get his team back up to the plate.
And now this scoring chance is up to Willy Adames. Fly to center his first time. 2 for 10 in this World Series. And just 7 hits this postseason. Needs a 2-out knock and takes a ball up and away.
Showing a little better signs as Adames. He's been struggling, as you mentioned, those stats. Swing and miss a lot in this postseason, but showing a little bit better signs that he might be tracking the ball better. And that would go a long way for the Rays as well. Getting that support for the one-man show, Arozarena.
1-0 pitch is hit hard, but right at Turner. Loves it, gets the out. But the Rays are on the board with a home run by Arozarena, number 9 this postseason. Unreal. Stay tuned for the 5th inning giveaway from T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. Feels like a homer a day for that guy. Is he having any fun? Randy Arozarena. Instant life for the Rays. 2-1 ball game, and Pete Fairbanks takes over. Great numbers. Busy this postseason, already his 8th game, and it is the top of the order. Mookie Betts first up, and he comes up empty on 99, strike 1. Betts, Seager, Turner. If anybody gets on Muncy here in the 5th.
This goes to show you how good that fastball is. Betts does not swing and miss very often, especially on fastballs in the strike zone.
Oh, 1. Strike 2.
And against a guy like Fairbanks, some of the shorter, compact swings are the only way you have a chance against a guy that you're not going to pick up the ball very quickly. He hides it and he throws it firm. So you better be locked in with your hands and not try to swing big, because if you do, you're going to miss it.
Ryan Thompson, good work. Took over with a runner at second, 1 out. Got out of it with a strikeout and a ground out. Three pitches and a strikeout of Mookie Betts. 1 out here in the 5th. Our good hands plays of the postseason. Sponsored by Allstate. The catch made in Game 5. The catch made in Game 6. And then for good measure, how about up and over to Rob Freeman in Game 7, and then just earlier tonight on the ball hit by Brandon Lau in the 2nd. He has been a vacuum in right field. Nothing's getting by him or over him, unless it leaves the yard. Here is Seager. How hot is he? Jumps on the first pitch. He's lined out. He's homered to right, and now he takes Fairbanks into right for a 1-out single.
You know how we told you the previous Rays pitcher was about 3 so feet from release point? Here's the opposite. 6.8 feet is the release point, which is the highest of any relief pitcher in Major League Baseball. So that is a drastic difference. And that's what the Rays like to do. They create different angles, different slots, and they want to make it as difficult as they can on the hitters to lock in on all their different relievers.
Here's Justin Turner. He's homered and singled. That gets away from Zunino, and Seager was ready. Down to second he goes. A wild pitch sends a runner into scoring position for Turner.
He spiked the curveball, and Zunino blocked it, but had no idea where it was. But the quick jump and attentive nature of the Dodgers, they have taken the extra 90 feet in this postseason about as good as any team.
Fairbanks 6'6", 225. Turned 27 in December. 1-0 pitch. Check swing on a pitch that was up. 2-0. Great rookie season for Fairbanks, 6-3. ERA of 2.70. But now he's fallen behind 3-0 with Turner up and Muncy next. What is Justin Turner doing on 3-0? Swinging, and he pops it up. Easy play for Renfroe. 2 down.
That's a huge out, and Turner knows. He let one get away, and you're going to have confidence as a manager to let one of your better hitters swing 3-0. And typically when you're swinging 3-0, you're going to look for one pitch and pull it. Well, that fastball got to him. You could see right there he is frustrated and let one get away on a 3-0 count. A lot of teams and a lot of players will tell you, whatever I get 3-0, I'm going to get 3-1, and it takes a special player to be able to hit with 3-0 and have success. That's better than a double play. When you're down 3-0 and you get an out, you're just up there going, oh, thank you.
Leaves it up to Muncy for the Dodgers. Max is grounded out, drawn a walk, and takes a strike over the inside corner. This is a ballpark Fairbanks might have called home if not for the trade the Rays made with the Rangers July of last year. 0-1 pitch. Oh!
Strike 2. Made 2 great curveball pitches to Max Muncy, who's one of the better hitters in baseball at homers on pitches 95 and above, and right away established the breaking ball down.
Runner at second, 2 out. And the 0-2. He did not go. And a good block by Zunino on ball 1.
The challenge for pitchers facing against Max Muncy is he's a really good high fastball hitter, but you can get him to chase up above the zone, I think, better than down below. Rarely will he swing down below the zone at balls and miss. He almost got him right there, though.
That is hit into right, a base hit. Seager is brought around third. Throw by Renfroe, has a great arm, but it's up the line. Safe at second, and now out as Muncy falls off. It's a 3-1 ball game, and Muncy pleading his case. He's delivered a 2-out RBI, another run scoring with 2 down, and the 2-run lead is back as Seager got to the plate before the out at second.
He got in there, but then he just kept leaning, and it looked like the shortstop kind of pulled him down.
I mean,
there's nothing much he could have done.
Well, Dave Roberts is going to hold on a second. Dave Roberts is going to go out and talk. I mean, Adames had his arms around the body of Muncy. Muncy pops up. Boy, that looks like it's close to being out anyway originally, but the out call comes right here as Muncy comes off the bag, and the argument is over, and so is the top of the 5th inning. But a 2-out RBI hit by Max Muncy, and it's a 3-1 game as Seager scores. More 2-out damage for the Red Hot Dodgers. First pitch swung on and missed by Hunter Renfroe, underway in the bottom of the 5th. As Willy Adames kept the tag on Max Muncy as the two fell off the second base bag. Not a reviewable play.
That would have been pass interference if you ask me.
Arm around him, no doubt.
No, he did keep the tag. That was a big out, but a big run for the Dodgers, and probably the last inning for Urias if he can get through the bottom of this lineup.
Misses the inside corner in the count. 2-1 on Renfroe. Zunino and Kiermaier will follow.
I had flashbacks seeing that play at second base.
Herbeck.
Yeah.
Here's a 2-1. Big swing. Renfroe 2-2. Hunter Renfroe's got 36 home runs against left-handed pitching since the start of 2017. That's the 8th most across baseball during that time. Facing a lefty here, and he takes down and in a full count.
Well, the right idea there, 2-2, aggressive hitter. He just didn't give him a chance to recognize it as a potential strike. If he wants to, he can go right back to the breaking ball, but make it a little higher and end it lower. The big swing of Hunter Renfroe.
Here is the 3-2, and a high fly ball into left. This ball is up and way out of here. It's a 3-2 game as Hunter Renfroe gets his first to the World Series.
That's the reason to go to a 3-2 breaking ball. This guy does not change his swing no matter what the count is. And you mentioned all the homers he hits off the left-handers. That one was something you look back if you're Urias. He's had a good fastball all night, but on an aggressive hitter that's not wanting to walk, you can throw a secondary pitch there and get him to swing. Good job by Hunter. Once again, we got a run game.
Second home run of the postseason for Renfroe. Zunino comes up empty, strike one.
I always felt in the postseason you take advantage of the most aggressive guys, because the most aggressive guys that love to swing don't usually walk.
96 from Urias, 0-2 on Zunino.
And so if you think of it this way, you really have to throw them like 5 balls to walk them, because some of the ones that you throw that would be a ball they're swinging at, and you can feed off of that aggressiveness.
Urias stays in there. Right-hander is up for the Dodgers in their pen. That is high for ball one.
That may be one of the longest home runs we've seen while we've been here.
I mean, that was at the back of the second deck.
I'm going to guess 446. You got a guess?
I was going to say in the 430s.
Okay.
444. This is the Price is Right. I win. That is down 2 balls, 2 strikes. Either way, that had to feel good for Hunter Renfroe. You've got the right-handed hitting Zunino with the lefty Kiermaier. One of the reasons why Urias still in the ball game, and that's fouled back. Pretty good rip.
Well, Well, you can be rest assured that Urias is not going to face Randy Arozarena. He may not face Yandy Diaz, but right now he's trying to get an out.
Nobody on or out, and now one away. Strikeout number 8 for the lefty. Let's go back to the end of this top of the 5th. The throw home is up the third baseline. Throw to second. Muncy ends up off the bag and then pled his case that he was pulled off the bag by Adames. Not reviewable, and the call stood. One out, nobody on. And a pop-up behind the plate. It'll get out of play. 0-2 on Kiermaier with Diaz on deck and Treinen ready in the bullpen for LA. That had you flashing back to what, 91 and Ronnie Gant.
That was, man, Ken Herbeck.
Here's the 0-2. Another strikeout of Kiermaier. That is 9 in the ball game. And we'll see if Roberts will stick with the lefty with the right-handed hitting Diaz coming up. He has struck out twice, and he's going to get a chance. Nope. Here comes Roberts. Urias was looking at him in the dugout as Diaz was walking to the plate. And Dave Roberts is, I believe, going to go get the baseball and call on Treinen.
I think he's going to talk to him and maybe tell him some things that either are going to cushion the blow, like right now, and tell him what a great job he did.
That's it for the lefty. Treinen coming in. Diaz coming up. One-run ball game here in Game 4. Outfield seats each time they get hit. Budweiser's giving away tickets to opening day. Tweet at Budweiser USA with hashtag Hit the Buds and hashtag sweepstakes for your chance to win. The batter is Yandy Diaz, who struck out twice against Julio Urias, 2 of his 9 strikeouts. And here's Blake Treinen, whose stuff has seemingly been getting better and better with every outing this postseason. 1 pitch. And the 5th inning is history. 6th inning now of Game 4. Home run by Hunter Renfroe. A blast to left. 3-2 Dodgers in Game 4. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance. And by T-Mobile, your ticket to the game with America's largest 5G network. Santa Monica Pier, Ferris wheel with Go Dodgers on it. And here in Arlington, aerial coverage brought to you by Camping World. We're just in the 6th inning. Great ball game. Hunter Renfroe with a blast into left, and it is confirmed, John Smoltz. The Rays will employ their closer whenever they deem necessary, and we're not even near the end of this ball game in the 6th, but they want their big arm now.
Very interesting, but so are the Rays, and a lot of things they do has science behind it. It's not throw it up to the air. They have what they believe a formula that gives them the best chance to be successful. You cannot argue with what they've done in the regular season. You might be able to argue some of the things they did when they were up 3-0 against the Astros, but they went on to win that series in 7, and right now they're trying to keep it a 1-run deficit here. They're
just hunting a win, trying to even this World Series at 2-2. before Kershaw and Glasnow go at it tomorrow night. A rematch of Game 1. Game the Dodgers won. There's a strike.
So here's the counter argument. Sometimes when you have to use your relievers this much, like they did coming into this series, a 5-game series, 7-game series, without those days off, you lose just a little bit of that effectiveness the more they keep getting in the game. Even though it's only been a 60-game season, you're asking these guys to cover a lot of innings in really crucial games. They've been great. We'll see how the rest of this series plays out.
Will Smith, an infield hit against Yarbrough, who went the first 3 and a third. Here is a 2-1. Good pitch. This guy's stuff is so nasty, Castillo. And his fastball at 97 is darting all over the place on top of that breaking ball. It's 2-2.
There's the slider. I missed the slider. Being able to throw it.
Here's a 2-2, and that's low and away, full count. Bellinger on deck, then Pollock. 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Dodgers, who have led since there were 2 out in the top of the first. That's not close, and a leadoff walk. A new ballpark app integration with Snap allows fans to use different camera lenses featuring the World Series participants in Globe Life Field to wear a team cap, celebrate, put themselves into the crowd at the World Series. Download the MLB Ballpark app to join in. Here is Cody Bellinger. Was scratched from his defensive spot in this game. He's the DH. About 45 minutes before first pitch with a bat back. But him swinging it has looked fine as that rides outside. Ball 1. Yarbrough, Thompson, Fairbanks, Castillo. One ball, one strike. Bellinger was the last out. The starter Ryan Yarbrough picked up back in the 4th, and a double by Pollock. And Cash started going to the bullpen. Big swing. And the count 1-2.
Yeah, that was the one he was hunting for. I mean, there is no doubt that Bellinger has, when you let go of a rubber band and you pull it back as far as you can, that's the kind of swing he has. Now time will tell how long he can do that, but he's limber enough even with a bad back.
Set up here at 1-2 by Castillo. 2-2.
What's amazing really is everyone's been kind of going away from trying. He's made a couple pitchers pay on a pitch that's up, but no one's gone back inside up near his hands. That's where he's been vulnerable, and they've been trying to stay away. And I think for Bellinger, you're doing him a favor if you do that.
Leadoff walk now at 2-2. Swung on and missed. One away.
See, up is just hard for Bellinger to get his hands to it. Now that one had great tail on it, but during the year they were really crowding him inside. See the two-seam action that just goes away, and he tries to get the bat to it.
That'll bring in A.J. Pollock after the strikeout. Pollock hit 16 home runs during the regular season. That was tied for 3rd in the National League. He has not gone deep so far this postseason. Has just 2 RBIs, doubled, and that's what chased the starter Yarbrough back in the 4th. In case you're wondering, Will Smith, no steals during the regular season, no attempts. Pollock takes the ball.
It's amazing what Castillo does. You know, he has that kind of like a Johnny Cueto style body, but what he does is he really opens up and goes towards the first base bag, but can stay in there to throw his slider and fastball on plane. Anyone who usually pulls that front side out, you can leak, but he has been really good for the Rays, especially in late innings.
Here it comes, and it's inside. 2-0. Luke, the left-hander, getting ready in case Dave Roberts wants to go to his bench with Jock Peterson lurking over there. Taylor in the on-deck circle, and then another righty, Kike Hernandez. 2-0 pitch is outside. 3-0.
I really think some of these moves that Kevin Cash has made is a little byproduct of maybe not having so much confidence in your offense, meaning you've got to keep it really tight and close. If you had an offense that could score a little bit more than the home run, you might be more patient with some of those pitchers and kind of play the game out a little bit.
Pollock waits to the count in his favor, 3-0, and takes a walk, second of the inning. And the batter will be Taylor, and a visit will be paid by the pitching coach, Kyle Snyder. So they will converse on the mound through a translator, and we'll give you a quick word from Bounty.
Quick! The quicker picker-upper. Bounty.
Playing baseball here. We talk about football, and that's tomorrow on Fox. Aaron Rodgers leading the Packers against Deshaun Watson and the Texans. Cowboys against the Washington football team, or other regional action. Check local listings for the game in your area or watch anywhere on the Fox Sports app.
I mean, you could have said Lions and Falcons just for me. I mean, I know
and
it's
the
there.
Lions take on the Falcons.
There we go. Right now, that might have been part of a discussion mechanically to stay on towards home plate a little bit. His ball's leaking. That two-seamer is leaking, and mechanically that front shoulder is so important, because if it leaks out, your arm's going to trail and the ball is going to have not as good a depth on it that you want. And the key against Chris Taylor is going to be to pound the outside part of the plate. That's where majority of his strikeouts have come.
Dodgers up by a run. Playing keep away here tonight.
Cannot let one of those two-seam fastballs leak over the middle of the plate. Inner third is music to the ears of Chris Taylor.
Castillo brings it, and off the end of the bat, foul. Dodgers were up 2-0 after home runs by Turner and Seager in the first and the third, respectively, and then the Rays got a run in the fourth. The Dodgers got a run in the fifth. The Rays got a run in the bottom of the fifth, and here we are in the sixth. Strike two.
Got away with that one. That one just had good late life, but Taylor usually does damage with that pitch. I mean, that one came right in the nitro zone. See how he couldn't get the barrel of it. He caught the bottom of that ball instead of the top of it.
Castillo. 26 years old from the Dominican Republic, misses down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Second postseason for this right-hander. Diego Castillo worked last year. Got into the wild card game and the division series 4 times total last year, and he's been used a lot here in 2020.
Taylor in a little funk. 5 of his last at-bats have been strikeouts.
And that is a rocket into left, right at the left fielder. Margot makes the play. 2 down. And the runners return to first and second with the number 9 man, Kike Hernandez, walking in. Taylor hit that ball right on the nose.
Yeah, watch where this pitch is. It comes back over that middle third. And Taylor just had too much topspin there. Line drive. Right at the left fielder. Castillo's been shaky, but he can get out of this inning, and that'd be a huge boost to the Rays.
And in the bottom of the inning, Arozarena will lead it off. Strike 1 on Kike Hernandez. That's strike 2. Ooh. Kike Hernandez with a game-tying home run in Game 7 of the NLCS. Happened with 2 out in the 6th. Up here, 6th inning. 2 on, 2 out. Ball 1. Free agent to be digs his way back in. That is past Brasso and into left. In to score is Will Smith. Stopping at third is A.J. Pollock on a 2-out RBI hit by Kike Hernandez. It's 4-2 Dodgers.
Well, the pitch that has been so good for Castillo has been the inconsistent one. That was a slider, and it stayed over the middle of the plate. 2 strikes. It's like a broken record with the Dodgers. You make a mistake, you don't get 3 clean outs, you get this reaction. They have prided themselves all series, all year, with 2 outs, and now Mookie Betts trying to really put some space between them and the Rays.
The opportunity here for the Dodgers and Betts. LA leading in this World Series 2-1, leading in the ball game 4-2. Runners at second and third, 2 out for Mookie, who's 0 for 3. Ball 1 down. They just keep piling up 2-out runs. 54. And that average of 342 with 2 out and runners in scoring position.
That's just ridiculous.
1-0.
And I'll bet you very little percentage wise have they struck out with runners in scoring position. That's what makes them so difficult again. Well, for the Rays, this is the at-bat of the game. They need to get back in the dugout, down 2.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 on, 2 out. Should end the inning. Right center field. Kiermaier is there, and that ends the top of the 6th. Betts 0 for 4, but more 2-out damage delivered by the number 9 man, Kike Hernandez. 4-2 after 5.5 in Game 4. The World Series on Fox is sponsored by Fox Sports 5G View, powered by Samsung Galaxy. Download the all-new app for an interactive fan experience you can control from around the diamond in real time. Available only on 5G-enabled Android devices. 4-2 ball game. Dodgers playing keep away tonight, and here's a pitch inside to Arozarena, who's 2 for 2, hit his 9th home run of this postseason back in the 4th off Urias. Blake Trinan back for more after throwing 1 pitch in the 5th and getting Diaz on a ground out. Here's a 1-0 pitch.
It really is amazing to me. I mean, he might be following the Reggie Jackson school of thought. I don't need to get a hit with a runner in scoring position, because when I step to the plate, I'm in runner scoring position. I don't think he's got a hit with the runners in scoring position this postseason, yet he's done all this damage in homers.
Well, as evidenced by the now 9 home runs and just 12 RBIs in the postseason, he needs some help. And he is there at the top, tied with Evan Longoria for home runs in the short franchise history of the Rays. Got a piece of that, I believe. Either way, it's 2-2.
Well, no one's been able to bury a fastball in without him doing some damage on a pitch middle in. The cutter is a pitch that has effectiveness against him, and I'll tell you who's got a great cutter is the man who's on the mound right now, Trinan.
Here comes a 2-2, and a line drive into center. Another hit. And nobody can get him out. Take a closer look. StatCast Insights powered by Google Cloud. This the hardest hit of the 2020 World Series. The Game 3 home run last night down the line off Kenley Jansen in the 9th. And here are all the home runs, all 9 of them, and where they've traveled this postseason.
And again, because of the success he's had, the pitchers have the thought in their mind, don't make a mistake, and they're making a ton of mistakes against him, and he is making them pay. There's the 30 hard hit balls you saw right there. That pitch was right down the middle on a cutter, and he took advantage of it.
So now the tying run at the plate. It's Ji-Man Choi batting for Mike Brasso. Ball disappears down and in, ball 1.
Here's the last pitch, and he's trying to go away, but see how it starts in and goes right down the middle. That is a huge mistake, and lucky it just stayed in the park for just a single. But Blake Trinan can induce ground balls about as good as anybody, and no better guy to get a ground ball right here if you're him in a potential double play.
That's down, ball 2. Choi hit 3 home runs during the regular season. So far 1 for 7 in this World Series. He does have 2 home runs this postseason. Time called at the plate.
Choi, good low ball hitter and below the zone. He likes it down there.
And that's down and in to make it 3-0. On deck is Margot. Bullpen quiet for the Dodgers at the moment. As Dave Robertson, Mark Pryor talk about who's to come, and Pryor goes to the phone. Choi with a count 3-0. 3-1. 3 balls and a strike. Full count. And now the infield goes into a shift for the Dodgers. You talked about this coming on the air. Leadoff hitters trying to get something going early. They're trying to get stuff happening at the top of each inning.
Yeah, and they've done a much better job. When you think about what their lack of success coming in here, 2 leadoff homers, and now a leadoff base hit.
Joy waits. It was 3-0. Now it's 3-2. Out of play.
Trying to think of what the best word to describe what the Rays are. I mean, scrappy comes to my mind, but that's not really accurate. They grind. They find ways, and they believe in themselves. Like they said, you'll hear a lot of things about the Rays. Not a lot of household names. Well, those names are starting to become bigger and bigger now that they got here. But every part of their team has a purpose and an importance. And they use more parts than anybody I can think of.
Including more men on the bench in this series than the Dodgers have, and they're using a pinch hitter. Runner goes on ball 4, and it's 2 on with nobody out as Choi off the bench draws a walk from Trinan. An opportunity is knocking for the Rays here in the 6th inning. Mark Pryor jogs out of the dugout to talk to Trinan. They discuss the situation. 2 on, nobody out. Margot coming up, and we'll give you a quick word from T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage.
1 in 5 U.S. kids may not be able to afford to play next season. Together, we can help little leaguers in your community. Grab your phone and text, and T-Mobile will donate.
So Margot now will be lifted for the pinch hitter, Austin Meadows. And Baez is, well, he's ready to go if they need him. Been warming for a while. Good against left-handed hitters, but Roberts will stick with Trinan against Meadows.
Kind of an interesting move here. Meadows, you could say, has been struggling a little bit.
Here it comes from Trinan, and that's down the line, foul. He's been a big home run guy in his past with the Rays. Last year hit 33. In 36 games this year, John, just 4.
Yeah, I'd definitely be keeping the ball away from him if he can. This power sinker away. If you're going to go in, you better bury that cutter in, because he's really good on the inner part of the plate.
Tying runs are on. Went around on a pitch that was down, and that's strike 2.
Well, that's where they got to be, and he was really aggressive trying to get the barrel of the bat out to that ball that disappeared. Really never got it. And that ball hit the plate.
Margot, while he was in there, struck out twice. Meadows gets his chance here. 0-2. A strikeout on 3 pitches, 1 away. And that will be all for Trinan.
Kind of got away with this one. See how that slider was in the zone, but the change of speeds got out in front.
Roberts will go to his bullpen and call on Baez, as Lau will face the right-hander. Good against left-handed hitters. 2 on, 1 out. Dodgers by 2 in the 6th inning of Game 4. Fox Bet Super 6 is giving you another chance at $1 million. You can play for free right now. So download the Fox Bet Super 6 app and make your picks for Sunday's games for a shot at $1 million. And this is a shot for the Tampa Bay Rays to even this game. 2 on, tying runs are on, 1 out, and Pedro Baez, who is very effective against left-handed hitters, will take over and deal with Brandon Lau with runners at first and second.
His changeup should give Brandon Lau a lot of problems if he throws it like he has this postseason. Missed with the first one. Here's what the lefties have done against him. Easily the best chance this inning for the Rays to get a crooked number on that scoreboard.
They've got their dangerous second baseman Brandon Lau at the plate. He's lined out and struck out. 1 ball, 1 strike here. Had been pull happy coming in and then ended up going deep twice in Game 2 the other way. So the infield's playing Lau to pull. Here it is. Strike 2.
Normally you might think if a team has a different ability to put the ball in play, first and second, nobody out, you might want to get them to second and third and crawl back 1 run at a time and maybe even take the lead with a single. But there's a little bit too much swing and miss in the Rays lineup. So they had first and second, nobody out. You saw a strikeout, and now Lau's trying to avoid another strikeout here.
Here's a 1-2 from Baez, and it misses. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Rays are 186 with the average with runners in scoring position during this postseason. 0 for 3 tonight. Baez brings it, and a high fly ball into left center field. Back at the wall, it is gone. Brandon Lau has put the Rays on top with a 3-run home run the other way. It's 5-4 Tampa Bay here in the 6th.
What a swing and what a pitch selection that they went with a guy who really struggles against changeups. They went with the fastball and he went with it. And the Rays have really got their dugout in a frenzy.
Finally leading in this game for the first time as they climb on top here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Rosarena got it started yet again. Then a walk, then a strikeout, a pitching change, and a home run by Lau.
Yeah, I'm still sitting here, shocked they went with the change or the fastball up and away after some good changeups that he threw in that at bat. But as we mentioned, this was their best chance, and wow, did they cash in.
And able to exhale is Lau. 3rd home run of this World Series. Here is Turner. Takes care of Adames. 2 down. Let's go back to the pitch.
Yeah, he went fastball, and we've seen the home runs already that he's gone that way and staying on the ball. That he did that with perfect precision, and whoo.
Kiermaier loves it. Rosarena with his 3rd hit of the night got the inning going. Helped chase Treinen. And now with 2 out, the batter is Renfroe, takes a strike. The Tampa Bay Rays. Bullpen has allowed him to hang around, and now they're on top. 2 of those runs charged to Treinen. That's off the end of the bat, foul. Strike 2. Hunter Renfroe wearing the mic for us tonight. Here's his reaction on the home run.
Go, Walt. Let's go.
He hit a 400+ foot home run his last time up. Renfroe takes a ball. The big bats are coming up for the Dodgers in the 7th. Seager, Turner, Muncy. Good ball game here in game 4. Renfroe strikes out, and the inning is over. Big damage done by Brandon Lau. Another opposite field home run. His 3rd of the series, his 3rd of the entire year. Rays up by 1 after 6. Back after this from your local Fox station. Well, no bigger swing in his life. Brandon Lau just went deep with a 3-run shot in the bottom of the 6th inning to put his Rays on top by 1 as we go to the 7th inning of game 4. And a new pitcher is Aaron Loup. Deals, and it's swung on and fouled out of play off to the left by Seager. You look at the numbers for Loup. Defensive changes with Meadows staying in the game in left. Ji-Man Choi at first. And Diaz moves from 1st to 3rd. Seager grounds a base hit into right. He's hit the ball hard 4 times. He's 3 out of 4 with a home run, and he's on to start the 7th inning. Tying run aboard for the Dodgers.
Yeah, he has been amazing. And the way that Dave Roberts has set up his lineup, you've got right, left, and left, which means that Loup has to face at least 1 right-hander. You'd think he's only in there for 3 batters, and then they might turn it into another guy. You know, when you got to come into the bullpen and you got to use this many arms to get this many outs on both sides, you're asking everybody to be really good, and so far that has not been the case.
Justin Turner takes a ball. He homered in the 1st inning. If you're just joining us, became the first player in World Series history to go deep in the 1st inning in back-to-back games. He's got a Dodgers record 12 postseason home runs. That's not close from Loup, and it's 2-0.
And the point that I was, I'm making is, Urias was absolutely dominating. He did give up a couple runs and was 1 out away from finishing the 5th, but now there'll be a bunch of changes on both sides to try to finish this game out.
That is strike 1 on Turner. A lot of outs to go before the end of game 4 as the big right-hander Anderson gets loose. Here's a 2-1. Got it by him with 95. It's 2-2 on Justin Turner. The next. Fouled away. The Rays can turn the word bullpen into a verb. And they are bullpenning here tonight. And to show you how dominant that pen can be, Tampa Bay 30-1 regular and postseason when they score 5 or more runs. Here comes a 2-2 and a line drive base hit into left center. That will send Seager over to third. Digging for second is Turner, and he is safe with another extra base hit. Second and third, nobody out here in the 7th for LA.
It's been an incredible game, and just when you think the momentum has switched to the other side about 4 different times, it happens again. He got the ball up. Turner gets it over the shortstop and hustles to get to second base. Thought this was going to be close at second if they made a good throw, but the throw was offline, had to be cut. And now, as we mentioned, Loop is in there to face Muncy. The infield has to come in. Muncy awfully tough.
Takes a strike. Justin Turner, 2 more extra base hits in this game, and he's got 11 in his World Series history. He's number 2 on that list to Duke Snider, just World Series play, and tied with Carl Furillo. 0-1. That is strike 2. And Loop is looking for the strikeout.
Yeah, he has to punch him out here and then turn it over to their hard-throwing right-hander to try to wiggle out of this inning. And of course, Muncy is going to have to find a way to put this in place somehow.
Loop brings it, and a strikeout, 1 away.
What a job.
And here comes Kevin Cash, does not hesitate. He will make the change after this key strikeout by Aaron Loop on Max Muncy. And Nick Anderson will enter. Game may be hanging in the balance right here in the 7th. It was second and third, nobody out. It's second and third, 1 out. And we're just in the 7th inning of Game 4. It's a good one. Tampa Bay up 1. Aerial coverage brought to you by Camping World. And a reminder, you can find authentic caps, tees, jerseys, hoodies, and more. Get all your Dodgers and Rays gear and cheer on your team at home with the official source, MLBshop.com. Loop got the strikeout after the single and the double. The infield is still in, and Nick Anderson takes over. Great regular season, that bottom line. A little more hittable this postseason with a lot of work.
Curveball, the key pitch for him against Will Smith.
Second and third, 1 out. 95 for strike 1.
Challenged him with the fastball, but I think the kill pitch he can have with Will Smith struggling against curveballs off of right-handers, but now this isn't your average fastball. This is pretty firm.
The young catcher waits and fouls it away. Strike 2.
Well, that was the pitch to get a run in for Will Smith. Now he's really in a hole with 2 strikes. A fastball up allows you to hit a fly ball, and he missed it. It was a little higher than he would have liked it. You could see his reaction.
Seager at third, Turner at second, 1 out. 0-2. A strikeout, 2 down.
I'll tell you something right now. If the Rays are able to win this game, this inning will be the highlight inning for more than one reason. So past the previous half inning got him the lead, but this inning had him in a mess. Second and third, nobody out. And they're going to walk Bellinger. Dave Roberts is going to bring in Jock Peterson.
So the intentional pass to Cody Bellinger. And Peterson will be the hitter here in the 7th inning. Bases loaded and 2 out.
Well, you can do this if you have confidence in your reliever is going to throw strikes, and certainly they have that confidence with Nick Anderson. And this is a really interesting battle because even though Peterson's coming off the bench, I don't think he's ever stepped in the box that didn't swing from his heels on fastballs over 95. Pretty darn good success on high and high velocity. You're going to have that right here.
It's an interesting decision as well to pass Cody Bellinger, who has struggled with high heat at times this postseason. He gets the walk. Infield plays Peterson to pull. And here we go. Strike 1.
Great pitch. Great first pitch. A guy who loves the fastballs. Make him think you're getting one. And drop that power breaking ball on him.
Peterson 1 for 6 in this series. No RBIs. What a good block by Zunino. He's done that all postseason. 1 ball, 1 strike.
If you're a fan of the Rays, you may have gone through a huge bottle of Tums watching them play this year, but this is where they're most comfortable. I'm telling you, this is where they feel like they have the assets and can win all the 1-run games they play in. They use a lot of pieces, already used to kind of a backwards approach to how they've brought in their highest leverage guys, but it's paid off. The offense responded.
Bases loaded, 2 out. Ball 2. Rays have already used Pete Fairbanks, Diego Castillo. Now they have Nick Anderson following Aaron Loop.
I would think a 2-1 curveball. If you got the confidence you can start it over the plate, I would be hard pressed to think Jock Peterson wouldn't swing thinking another fastball ahead in the count. 2-1's coming right here.
Not close.
Mookie was telling him ground ball. Think ground ball.
That is off the glove and into right. 2 runs are going to score, and now Bellinger trapped in a rundown, tagged out, but Peterson has delivered off the bench. A 2-out, 2-run pinch hit on a knock into right, and the Dodgers are back on top here in Game 4.
I just can't keep stopping saying wow. So close. And Bellinger kept from getting tagged out at third to allow the last run to score.
Brandon Lau tucked into shallow right, and that hooking line drive off the edge of his glove, and Jock Peterson with the biggest hit of his career has put the Dodgers on top. Time to stretch. Well, Brandon Lau has hit the mountaintop with a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 6th, and now he's beside himself that he did not catch that ball off the bat of Jock Peterson. Gave it all he had to his right, tucked into shallow right. We're going to show you the base running that happened a moment ago as Baez goes back to work. And Zunino comes up empty, strike 1. 6-5 LA now, bottom of the 7th. We are a long way from the end of this ball game. Zunino is 0 for 1. A walk and a strikeout, a check swing, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Easily the best game and most action-packed so far in the series, and it has gone back and forth with so much emotion switching on both sides of the dugout and some clutch hitting on both sides of the dugout.
Here's a 1-1 and a pop-up back behind the plate. Strike 2. More 2-out runs for the Dodgers. Watch how close Lau comes to catching this ball. Just kind of stumbling and right off the edge of his glove, and then great base running in one respect, and that's been Lau ever since he got back to the dugout. It would have been close had Bellinger just kept on running to third. So whether that second run would have scored. Here's a 1-2 and a strikeout for out number 1 in the 7th.
Well, when this was hit, Bellinger can't tell if Turner is for sure going to score. So what he does is the next best thing. When he turns around and looks where the throw is, you can't have the same. You can't turn and watch Turner and the throw. So he did the next best thing and made sure that he didn't get tagged out before Turner scored.
He did. That second run wouldn't have counted. Chris Taylor now moves to center. Peterson, who is a hero at the moment for the Dodgers in the ballgame and left. You saw him a second ago. And here's Kiermaier, strike 1. Baez came on last inning and gave up the 3-run home run to Lau. Got the next 2. He gets the first out here in the 7th. The count 1-1 on Kiermaier. What a game. Fastball misses high, 2-1.
There were a couple of bats in this game where the pitcher gave the hitter the advantage by avoiding the weakness of that hitter and getting himself in a count where now he had to come in. And that was that 3-1 count. Remember that at bat to Peterson started off with a curveball swing and a miss to go 0-1.
Here's one into right. This one is way out of here, and game 4 is tied. Kiermaier touches one off into right.
Okay, I'm going to add another word to the Rays. Relentless.
Kiermaier, the 31st round pick, grew up in the organization, just crunched one into right. And Baez, who's in the ball game because of how effective he is against left-handed hitters, has allowed 2 home runs to lefties. And he deals down for ball 1 to Yandy Diaz. .52 of the 74 runs that the Rays have scored this postseason have come via the home run ball. All 6 tonight. That's down, and the count 2-0.
All right, well, we started out by saying We'll have to wait for the first base coach Timmons to go do his push-ups, but 50 push-ups was going to be a good formula. That meant 5 runs. Well, now they got 6. Even though they're not leading, they're tied. So he'll have to do 60.
10 per run. Here comes a 2-0 to Diaz, and that's low. 3-0. And boy, the Dodgers showing a lot of faith in Pedro Baez. Gave up the home run last inning, gives up a home run to the lefty here in the 7th. And Randy Arozarena waits to hit next. That little lineup tweak has worked for Kevin Cash. There's a strike. Diaz looking for his first postseason home run. Here's a 3-1 in the dirt. A 1-out walk. The go-ahead run is on with Arozarena coming up. Back to the home run.
Yeah, that's just incredible.
Now Wendell is going to come off the bench and run for Yandy Diaz. Joey takes over at first. And with a lot of options in their bullpen, the Dodgers are going to stay with Baez. They only have had the left-hander up, and he's still the only one getting loose, Victor Gonzalez.
Well, what they're hoping with Baez is the right-handed changeup against Randy, who's hitting 125 in his career, and this year hit 143 off of the changeup. So you got to believe they feel like that's the best chance of hoping that Baez can kind of throw his changeup and get Randy off of the fastball.
Now Kolarek is up. He just started loosening. It's been Victor Gonzalez with the left-handed hitting G-Man Choi on deck. But this is the at-bat. Pedro Baez, who is struggling, allowing 2 home runs, now a walk, and Randy Arozarena at the plate. 3 for 3 on the night. Wendell at first, and a strike hits the inside corner.
Started him off with a changeup.
Oh, 1 up the middle, and a step and a throw. The double play handled by Kike Hernandez. The home run hit by Kevin Kiermaier. And how about the emotions of the last half hour? The Dodgers highs, lows, the Rays highs, lows. It's 6-6 after 7. What a game 4.
Getting off for Los Angeles, the center fielder Chris Taylor.
Well, if you go back to the bottom of the 4th inning, we have had, you saw that graphic earlier, 7 half innings in a row with a run scoring, at least a run by both teams. That is the most in World Series history in a single game. So who can put up a 0? That's the question as we go through the last couple of frames.
So what are we up to? How many records? We got to find this out. We got to see.
They're all over the places. Anderson goes back to work. Chris Taylor first up. And we'll just run like a ticker on the bottom of the screen with every record that's been broken here in this game. Taylor 0 for 3. Takes high from Nick Anderson, and we're underway in the 8th. Taylor lined out to left his last time up. Hernandez and Betts the next 2. That's out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'll tell you what, Rays fans have been used to this, but I don't know how you can. It is unreal to watch the Rays do this all year, and they have. It's what they do. They win the close games. Sitting on your edge of the seat most of the time watching them, though.
Here is a 1-1 pitch from Anderson. Top of the zone for strike number 2. .55 degrees with the roof open here in Arlington.
Well, the Rays know how important this game is. They've lost home field advantage by the Dodgers winning a game, so they got to get it back to their home version by winning one of these next 2.
That's out of play again.
I mean, last year we saw the craziest of all crazy series where no home team won a game in the traditional sense, being at each park.
Chris Taylor trying to jump start it again for the Dodgers in the 8th.
No.
He checked his swing. 2-2.
This was close.
Two pitch. That is hit well into left. Back at the wall. It's up against. Taylor is going to dig into second. The play's in front of him. He'll hold there with a leadoff stand-up double. And here come the Dodgers in the 8th. Just held up on the previous pitch. Got a chance to see another pitch. And he hit a laser into left center field.
Yeah, that was an absolute mistake breaking ball, and one of the tailor-made swings, no pun intended. He has that grooved. He loves the ball down. He loves the ball middle in. You see the barrel of the bat get to the ball, and he crushes that ball. Here it comes, the Dodgers.
And here comes Kyle Snyder. The shutdown relievers for the Rays have all been in the ball game. And speaking of relievers, while they converse on the mound, we'll take a look at this year's relievers of the year presented by the Hartford. Liam Hendricks of the A's saved 14 games for the AL West champs with a 1.78 ERA. He allowed a home run, by the way, on opening day, did not allow another for the rest of the year. Devin Williams of the Brewers had a microscopic 0.33 ERA. A middle reliever, only allowed 1 earned run the entire season. Had 53 strikeouts and 27 innings pitched. Hendricks from Perth, Australia. Williams from Greater St. Louis, Hazelwood, Missouri. But right now we focus on the bullpens. The guy on the mound, Nick Anderson. The right-hander Curtis, and the left-hander Sheriff getting loose for Tampa Bay. Kike Hernandez at the plate. Infielders are pinched in, especially Choi at first. High for ball 1.
This goes along with Dave Roberts and the way that he thinks his offense. The more they can see that list of the Rays, the better he feels his offense can make adjustments. Seeing Nick Anderson for the second time.
Showing bunt early. And bunts it in the air for the out. One away as Wendell is there, barely had to move. And Hernandez, who had an RBI double his last time up, with that soft line drive on the bunt attempt for out number 1 in the 8th.
Well, the reason you do that there is you got one of the best contact hitters in all of baseball, Mookie Betts, on deck. So you like his chances with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. But the high fastball made it difficult to get that bunt down because the barrel of the bat was too low.
Here is Betts. Big swing. Fouled it straight back. Strike 1. Remember, the Dodgers carried 15 pitchers on their roster in this final round of the postseason. The Rays 13. So the Dodgers are still pretty well stacked in their bullpen and would seem to be able to match up better the rest of the way. They've got the lefty Kolarek getting loose. Bats, ground ball to short. And out at first as Adames makes that play. 2 down. And good base running by Chris Taylor to not get hung up between second and third. And now the absolutely scalding hot Corey Seager walks in.
I mean, my gosh. Can they keep doing it with 2 outs?
Well, I mean, on some level, the Dodgers would seem to have this inning right where they want it. A runner in scoring position and 2 down. Adding to their record seemingly every inning. As Anderson steps off and goes through the scouting report in his pocket again. The go-ahead run at second with 2 down.
Well, because this field is so big, you don't see many outfielders throw out runners at home plate. They got to play back.
We have a good arm and right in Hunter Renfroe. Good pitch by Anderson. Strike 1. One ball, 1 strike. Seager is protected by Justin Turner, who's on deck.
Willie Adames is trying his best to get in front of
Oh, baby, let's
the
go.
runner at second. Make it tougher to either pick up the signs or relay information. Then he'll dart out of the way right before the pitch.
Inside at 95. 2-1.
Obviously, when you're in second base as the runner, you can see the sequences. They've got a better decoded system now because of all the different pieces of paper that they'll have to look at the indicators of what sign is what.
Seager with a chance to put the Dodgers back on top. That's foul. 2-2. The reason the left-hander Kolarek's getting ready for LA in their bullpen. Lefties coming up. First 3 hitters in the bottom of the inning. No right-handed bats on the bench for Tampa Bay. Seager, a little flare, shallow left. Dodgers back on top. Another 2-out run scoring here in the 8th. And it's 7-6 LA, and Corey Seager has delivered yet again. Just muscled that ball over the head of Adames.
Adames breaks in just a fraction. Not saying that would have been the difference. But remember, he's been in that position, jockeying with the second base and then kind of sprinting back to get to his position. And you just wonder if all that movement caused a little bit of a misread off the bat. And there's the signs for barrels are overrated. And what an opportunity for barrels to overrated to gain the lead again.
A flare over the head of Adames, who'd been in front of the runner Taylor, getting behind the runner Taylor when the pitch is delivered, broke in, couldn't recover. And Corey Seager with 4 hits in the ballgame. Another 2-out run on the board for the Dodgers. What a game. LA back in front, 7-6 in the 8th. For Corey Seager, a home run, 4 total hits, 2 RBIs on the night. 57 runs scoring with 2 out this postseason for the Dodgers. As Turner comes up empty, dealing with John Curtis.
4 outfielders. Shortstop playing way back. I think Seager could take second base. I don't know if they'll let him. And that's a lot of room.
There he goes, and a base hit into left. Seager will end up at third base as Meadows gets the ball back in, and it's first and third, 2 down. Another hit by Turner. He's got 4 hits.
Here's the problem with 4 outfielders. You only got 1 infielder that can cover the bag. And Dave Roberts, that's why I thought sending Seager to second, there's nothing you can cover. Put the ball in play. He's got to cover second. No shortstop there. And once again, the Dodgers have had success with the 4 outfield alignment and success hitting the ball on the ground when they need to. And they're continuing what has been already a classic game. One that I can never remember having so many runs after each other's keep scoring.
4 hits out of the number 2 spot, 4 hits now out of the number 3 spot, and Max Muncy has a chance with first and third 2 down to add to a 7-6 lead. Takes a strike. That's over the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-2. Two out runs all night. There goes the runner Turner, and a ground ball right side. Charging it, gloving it, throwing it for the out is Lau. All smiles for the Dodgers. Really, since the start, this roller coaster game, Dodgers have scored 7 runs tonight with 2 out, and after 7.5, lead game 4 by 1. Well, you just can't play any better than that man, Corey Seager. A 2-out RBI hit. Again, all 7 runs have scored with 2 out tonight by the Dodgers. They continue to add to their record. Pitch, hit, and run presented by MLB Network, Major League Baseball's free skills competition for boys and girls 7 to 14. Sign up now to host a free competition in your local community at pitchhitrun.com. Adam Kolarek into the game, misses inside as Ji-Man Choi, who pinch hit in the 6th inning, showed bunt, took a ball, and it's been 10 days since Kolarek last pitched.
Yeah, Choi never swings at the first pitch. Kolarek thought he had a strike. But that is a long time in between outings for a reliever, for sure.
High and tight, showing bunt again. Just taking in the count, 2-0. Action for the Dodgers in their pen. Same can be said for Tampa Bay. Choi, Meadows, Lau. That is high, 3-0.
I mean, Dave Roberts has the matchups he wants. He's got 3 lefties in a row. I mean, he needs his left-hander to dial it in. You mentioned 10 days off.
Gratterall getting ready, but it'll be a few batters before we see him. Here's a 3-0. A 4-pitch walk, and the tying run is on with nobody out.
Well, I just want to show you this play and to give you perspective. I'm not saying this is the reason, but remember the shortstop being right there, and then watch what he's got to do to get back to position, right? Backpedaling. He does get set, but it's still a little bit different than playing your normal position. He breaks in, and that could be the difference right there for him making an outstanding catch to just not getting the ball. We see how much that traveled, so it probably doesn't come into play, but it just goes to show you how much movement and how many things the Rays are trying to do to counterbalance what the Dodgers do very well.
Kolarek issues the walk, now deals with Meadows. Austin waits and takes strike one. Pinch hit in the 6th and struck out. That was against Trinan.
8 half innings. We have seen a run in every one of the last ones.
That's a World Series record. Here's one into center field. Taylor is there for out number 1. And Kolarek now has to face just one more batter. That batter is Brandon Lau. The probables tomorrow. We go back to where we started. Game 5 on a Sunday night. Clayton Kershaw and Tyler Glasnow.
And both of those pitchers, based on the way this game has gone, you would think would need to throw some innings for their respective clubs. Pretty much all year, Clayton Kershaw averaging over six plus an inning a game.
There's a strike, zips in at 91 to Brandon Lau, who has 3 home runs in this World Series, and all 3 have gone to the left of straightaway center field. He has the biggest swing of the night for the Rays so far. Put them up by 1 when he took Baez deep in the 6th.
Well, that flyout was huge, because if Dave Roberts wants to, this could be the last batter that Kolarek faces. And he could bring in Gratterall to face. Don't know if he could get him 4 outs if he wanted.
Here it comes, and a swing and a miss by Lau. 2 out. Roberts doesn't hesitate, goes right to the steps with Willy Adames coming up. Gratterall getting ready. Gratterall coming in. Adames coming up. 7-6 LA in the bottom of the 8th. World Series in game 1. Taco Bell's steal a base, steal a taco. Back in effect, everyone in America gets a free Doritos Locos Taco. Stop by any Taco Bell on October 28th to get yours. Brusdar Graterol takes over. Tying run at first, 2 out now. He was there with nobody out. And Damas leans back from a sizzler inside at 99, ball 1. Dodgers trying to put up the first 0 on the scoreboard since the top of the 4th. 100 from Graterol. 1 ball, 1 strike on Adames. 0 for 3 and 2 for 12. In the World Series as Blake Snell gets ready out in the pen. The game 2 starter. Two and 1.
Well, that's arm speed, but it's a little bit late right now. He's thrown 2 up and in. You want to get down through the ball. You leave it in the wrong spot at 100 miles an hour. Adames could do something with it.
Tying run at first, 2 out, and Adames, a little flare into left field. This ball is going to fall for a hit, and it's 2 on with 2 out as it drops in front of Peterson and out of the reach of Seager.
And I'll tell you why that was huge. Besides keeping the line going here in this inning, you want to get your best hitter up in the 9th inning. And he's one more hitter away from that happening.
Now a pinch runner for Choi.
2 more hitters in theory, but
Brett Phillips takes over at second base. And now that bench for Kevin Cash has 2 on it. Perez the catcher and Tsutsugo. This 8th inning comes down to Hunter Renfroe, who homered in the 5th, and Brusdar Graterol. 2 on, 2 out.
I mean, that was right down the middle, but he crossed him up, and it might have crossed up the home plate umpire, but that pitch split the strike zone, and he's going to allow him to go out to the mound to kind of check out what went wrong in the signs. But where he was set up for an inside sinker, and watch where that pitch ended up. I mean, it was right there.
A called ball 1.
Want to stay up to date during the postseason? Hey Siri, show me postseason baseball scores.
So 1-0 on Hunter Renfroe. Tying run in scoring position. Phillips at second base, and that is a ball high. 2-0.
You can cut the tension from the 4th inning on in this game. It's been so thick for each club.
Graterol deals, and a high fly ball into right, easy for Betts. And the young right-hander celebrates getting the final out of the 8th. Game 4 rolls into the 9th inning. 7-6. Dodgers on top.
We on the back, guys. We on the back.
Ninth inning. Look at all the scoring from the bottom of the 4th inning on until just moments ago. The first 0 put up.
This has been a great game with a ton of strategy. Not all of it's worked, but these players have come through, and each side has been a fraction, an inch away from making some incredible plays and changing the game.
Curtis goes back to work. You saw the defensive change as Renfroe comes into the infield to play first. Phillips, who ran for G-Man Choi, is now in right center, and the 4-person outfield being used by the Rays. 1 ball, 1 strike on Will Smith. Kevin Cash, we talked to him about this defense before the game. He loves it. Feels like it also could get into the head of the hitter. Here's a fly ball. That'll find one of these 4 outfielders. And it's Meadows in left. 1 out in the 9th. Our dynamic plays of the game presented by Hankook Tire. In the first inning, Justin Turner went deep. In the 3rd inning, Corey Seager went deep. For each guy, 1 of 4 hits tonight. There's the damage done by the 2 and 3 hitters in the Dodger lineup, the first teammates in World Series history with 4+ hits and a home run each in a single World Series game.
Well, the Rays in the regular season employed this quite a bit, and they only gave up 1 double or triple.
Here's another chance off the bat of Cody Bellinger. Left center field and hauled in.
Minus the 3 home runs, because it doesn't matter how many outfielders you have. Home runs are hit over the fence. So they were able to keep the doubles and the triples at bay with the 4 outfielders.
Kenley Jansen getting loose. Kiermaier just made that last catch. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. 1 spot away from Arozarena in the bottom of the inning. Jock Peterson came off the bench and delivered a 2-out, 2-run single in the 7th. And he grounds 1 through the right side here. 2 for 2 here in game 4.
If Jock Peterson could kind of channel his postseason success next year in the regular season. Wow. I mean, his regular season numbers were not much to speak of, and he's got some huge hits in the postseason for the Dodgers.
Well, John, the drama in the bottom of this inning as the Dodgers bat in the top half is Kenley Jansen coming into the ball game and coming into the NLCS. The Dodgers were unsure. The quote by Dave Roberts saying he doesn't feel compelled to name his closer. That's how off Jansen was with his mechanics. He was out of whack, inconsistent velocity, cutter not cutting, and he's worked hard to get it back. And after working here last night, as Taylor takes a pitch low, his pitching coach Mark Pryor agreed with us, and we talked to him before the game. Pryor said that's the best they had seen Kenley Jansen throw the ball in 2 years.
Well, he knows who's up 4th, and that guy took him deep in last night's game. Every closer knows the situation. In a 1-run game, you don't play it any different because you realize 1 pitch, 1 swing can tie the game. So you're always going batter to batter, and you definitely don't want to get any traffic on the bases, but he'll know. 8-9-1.
Taylor hits it in the air to right, and that will send game number 4 with all these twists and turns into the bottom of the 9th inning. Rays will bat down 2-1, trailing 7-6. Well, lurking at the end of the dugout is the DH, Randy Arozarena. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Last night, the hardest hit ball of the 2020 World Series that he shot out of here to left against Kenley Jansen, who takes over and deals with Yoshi Tsutsugo. First up, hitting for Zunino. And the first from Jansen misses for ball one.
This will be the biggest moment he's ever had for the Rays. So he adjusts here to the big leagues.
Big time power hitter in Japan. First year with Tampa Bay, and he's able to lay off for the count 2-0 from Jansen. Regular season hit 8. Batting average under 200. Here it comes. Big swing by Tsutsugo, trying to tie it. No homers or RBIs in this postseason. Kiermaier on deck. He's homered tonight.
As this series plays on, it's going to be so interesting to see how Dave Roberts treats Arozarena the rest of the series.
Here's a 2-1.
And what I mean by that is going to seem like an outrageous comment, but you almost have to start treating him like Barry Bonds and the year that he was having when he dominated the postseason. Which means a few more walks.
Was 2-0, now 2-2. Now a strikeout starts the bottom of the ninth. One away.
Good comeback by Jansen after being down 2-0 in the count.
Gratterall celebrates in the dugout. Kenley Jansen is the all-time saves leader for the Dodger franchise. He's got 18 career postseason saves. Shattered bat, fly ball, and base hit. And Kiermaier ends up with the handle of his bat in his hands. His bat in pieces, and the ball falls in shallow right center. And the tying run is on with one out.
What an effort here by Kike Hernandez. I mean, the bat is shattered, as you mentioned. I mean, just destroyed, but a huge hit, and barring a double play, Arozarena will be coming up. What an effort there, though. Laid out.
Well, the focus right now is on, boy, he came within inches. Focus is on Joey Wendell. A check on the run. But the other piece of this puzzle is, remember that behind Arozarena, Brasso started there, then Ji-Man Choi, and right now it's Brett Phillips.
Yeah, and you can run off of Jansen, but I don't know that they're going to want that to happen for a couple reasons.
Well, if it's going to happen, it's got to happen here early in this at bat, because they want Wendell to have a chance to tie it with a hit. You'd be hard pressed to believe that the Dodgers would pitch to Arozarena with Phillips hitting behind him. The only bat left on the bench for Tampa Bay is Perez, the backup catcher. Seager is right behind the bag and will come in if Kiermaier takes off. 0 for 1 this postseason, trying to steal. Big swing by Wendell. 1 ball, 1 strike. But Kiermaier 8 for 9 during the regular season in the stolen base department. First at bat of the night. by Joey Wendell. 1-1 pitch from Kenley Jansen. Do you send the runner here with a 2-1 count?
Tell you, it's definitely, you know, the slow delivery of Jansen allows a good base runner to steal, but keeping Turner at first base, I mean, that's the hole that Wendell would like to utilize.
Not going, and a line drive into left center field. Back is Peterson, grabs it, out number 2. And the Dodgers are 1 out away from the 3-1 advantage as Peterson made a nice play to his left. And now Arozarena. And if you walk Arozarena, you put the tying run in scoring position, and out of the dugout comes Mark Pryor. And we'll figure out fast what the decision is.
I think in this situation, you better be 100%. There better be no suggestions. Everyone has to feel committed to whatever the process is and live with the outcome, no matter what it is. You can't go in the try to do this or pitch around. You got to have a command, and it has to be affirmative, and everyone has to agree.
The Bonds treatment was at its height back in '98 when Buck Showalter of Arizona walked Berry with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th and 2 out. The score was 8-6. It made the game 8-7, and Arizona won the game 8-7. You talked about the Bonds treatment with Arozarena. Let's see what they do with him here. If you put him on, the tying run is in scoring position with 2 out. And here early, they'll pitch to him. And that's just poured in for a strike. Any idea that they're working around him, forget it. 3 hits tonight, including a home run. His record-setting 9th this postseason. One ball, 1 strike. Well, you think Jansen's going to try and be careful with Arozarena, and the first pitch is right down the middle for strike 1. Now the count even.
Yeah, a little shocking that Arozarena just kind of wasn't committed there on first pitch, but on the year he struggles against cutters off of right-handers, but he already hit that homer last night. I almost think if it gets to 2 strikes, we'll see if Kevin Cash gets aggressive with Kiermaier with 2 strikes.
Phillips, the on-deck man, was with Kansas City at the start of the year, then Tampa Bay. Here's a pitch and a pop-up left side, foul ball, out of play, strike 2.
So now last night with 2 strikes and a 3-2 count, you could see the reaction from Dave Roberts last night where that pitch was not anywhere close to where he wanted it. Middle cutter, and he hit for a homer. With 2 strikes here, you've got to get the pitch off the plate.
One-two pitch, just outside.
That was a great pitch and a great take. I don't know that they go hand in hand. It might have been so much that it locked him up, but that's where that pitch needed to be. Wow.
2-2. Full count. I would assume Kenley Jansen tries to make the perfect pitch, and if he walks him, he walks him.
Yeah, that's what they discussed. I guarantee you, try to make him hit your best cutter you got.
Runner will go. And a slow roller to third. That is foul. Traded to the Rays this past January. A postseason superstar.
You've got to remember, he's a good low ball hitter. Not as good up in the zone.
Runner goes 3-2 and bounces in there. Smith locates it. It's 2 on with 2 out. And the Rays are going to ask for the biggest hit in the life of Brett Phillips. Traded to Tampa Bay from Kansas City. Hit under 200 with both organizations this year. Hit 2 home runs. The 26-year-old outfielder.
Now the question's going to be is, will he think his best chance is on the first pitch? Will he be aggressive?
What a moment. Not on the roster during the LCS. Added for the World Series, and here he is. Ball 1 inside from Jansen.
Not too many people sitting down.
Phillips. Woo! That caught the corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Born in Florida, trying to deliver for Tampa Bay. Tying run at second, winning run at first. 2 out in the 9th. Outside corner, strike 2.
Real close. Phillips got a fight now. 2 strikes.
Jansen. That is into center field. Here comes Kiermaier. Phillips has tied the game. Rose Arena coming around. Throw home. Now he stumbles. But the ball gets away. Tampa Bay wins it. Brett Phillips, Game 4 hero.
Come here, mother. You all right?
They never quit. It's unbelievable.
Watch these replays and how this unfolded.
Yeah, a rare misplay by Mookie, and then a rare misplay again. I mean, Rosarena is dead at the plate, like there's no chance. I'm sorry, Taylor, not Mookie. Here's the throw that comes in, and this is going to be relatively easy.
And Will Smith just took his eye off the throw from Muncy
because he didn't know where the runner was. He thought the runner was coming, and he had to swipe tag him. And right here, Rosarena is absolutely flying, and right slips, falls down. Well, Will Smith has no idea at this point. An unbelievable comeback victory.
From the bat of Brett Phillips to that mistake by Taylor. The throw by Muncy to that from Will Smith. Two-run score on the play. And with that, instead of extra innings, Tampa Bay has evened this World Series at 2 games apiece. And Roberts can't believe it.
Pretty ironic that he scores the winning run.
It's a single, an RBI, and they give the error to Taylor in center. What an ending. What a game. And the Rays just keep on coming. Let's go down to Tom Bertucci.
Thanks, Joe. Kevin, I will ask you the same question you just asked me. What just happened?
Tom, I have no idea. That was truly incredible. Brett Phillips, his last at bat might have been 9 or 10 days ago. You know, put him on the roster for a defensive replacement, base runner type of guy. He knows his role. Comes up, biggest at bat of his life. Comes through. I just scored, and all I look back at Randy got sniped right there. I couldn't believe that ball got past Will Smith. Truly incredible. I got to watch a replay. I don't have many more words.
This game was so much back and forth. When it came to your last at bat, what was the approach against Kenley Jansen even to have a chance?
I just wanted to see a ball out over the plate. You know, he's been, he's known for his cutters, but last night he threw a lot of straight ones, 4-seamers, and just wanted to see a pitch out over the plate. Anything in, let it go, you know, just in case it cuts even more. So, started out the inning right there. Randy worked a huge walk, and then, like I said, Phillips did what he did. Absolutely incredible. But, we have no quit. We've been doing that all year. We've been the comeback kids this whole year. It's been a blast. The resiliency of this team, incredible. And, do it on the big stage makes it that much sweeter.
Congratulations. Wow.
I need water.
Go get it. Back to you, Joe.
All right. Thank you, Tom. This game is just hard to recap. And on that last swing, that ball in right center, in essence, the third guy to be in center tonight. Bellinger was initially in center field, couldn't play defense because of his bad back. A.J. Pollock was lifted, so Taylor was out there. He made that initial error. And then on the relay home, Rosarena fell. But as you said, and I think rightly so, Will Smith thinking he needs to make a swipe tag, and he just didn't secure the throw from Muncy. And that's how the game ends, as Rosarena smacks home plate and the Rays win the ball game.
Yeah, Will Smith is in a no man's land, not knowing because he can't see where the runner is, and That's just one of the flukiest plays you'll ever see end a game, and one of the greatest World Series games you're going to see that didn't eliminate somebody.
Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Brett, it took you several minutes to gather yourself just now. What happened?
Oh, man. I'm having a hard time putting my emotions into words. First of all, what a great team effort on this win. It took almost 28 guys. That's what's special about this team. Just all come together for one goal, is to win. We don't rely on one guy. It takes everyone, and man, baseball is fun. Wow.
Did you see the game coming to you?
Yeah, you know, an inning before, I saw we're running out of bench guys. Maybe use me to pinch run, steal bag. They're going for Troy. Next thing you know, I'm fifth in the lineup, coming into the tunnel. Hoover looks over at me, hey, you're coming up fifth? Let's go win this thing. I said, you already know. Let's go. Golly, what a special moment. I just want to thank God for the opportunity.
Now, Kenley Jansen, Brett, you get down 2 strikes. What's going through your mind that at bat?
I was just trying to slow things down. You know, obviously myself being a high energy player, and moments like that, sometimes it's tough to slow down, but God willing, I was able to get a good pitch there and help the team win just like everyone else did tonight.
Finally, did you see all the craziness with Randy scoring?
You know, honestly, it's hard to believe right now that things are going like that just happened. Once I saw Randy slip, I was like, oh shoot, at least we tied it up. And then he missed the ball. I don't know what happened, but then he scored. And next thing I know, I'm airplaning around the outfield, and I get dogpiled, and here I am talking to the boys.
Brett, congratulations, man.
Thank you, guys.
Enjoy it.
Appreciate y'all.
Joe, back to you.
Well, he was picked up from the Royals on a deal on August 27th of this year. Nobody paid any attention to that transaction. And now the game ends up in his lap. And October has a funny way of making heroes and stars out of the most unlikely players. And Brett Phillips, out of breath, still trying to capture what just happened. The key part for him is he delivered the hit, and then mayhem ensued after that.
Yeah, absolutely. He was fighting with 2 strikes. He fought off a Jansen cutter, and the Rays fought off being in an elimination game tomorrow. They are in the thick of a World Series now.
The series is tied 2 games apiece, and we're still trying to catch our breath. Man, so many twists and turns on a Saturday in Arlington, Texas in Game 4. This series is tied. Kevin, all yours.